Okay, I think we're streaming again. Bam. Okay.
Alrighty.
We're trying something. We're gonna let both Alex Hirsch and the creator of this game know that we're doing it. So why not? Let's try that. Yeah, this is the Grunkle Stan dating simulator.
Yeah, well, it's not just Grunkle Stan. It is also, of course, Grunkle Ford.
That's true.
Yes.
It's called Swooning Over Stans. It's available for free. But we're going to do it because you guys actually reached this milestone on Extra Life. So why not, right?
Well, I guess I turned it into my mission for us to be doing a dating sim each time.
A little bit. But you know what? Why not?
It's been fun. There's some funny dating sims out there, as we know. Colonel Sanders.
It's true.
Dream Daddy. And now this.
All right, let's do it. Okay. I guess, should I just do the regular voices?
Mine's so loud.
Oh, it's so loud. Should I just do the regular voices? Is that better?
I would just do normal. Oh, well, what do you mean?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We can't do their voices. We already tried.
No, but we can try.
Oh, God.
Just do it. All right. Is that better for the headphones?
Yes, thank
you.
you.
Cool. I'm just going to do the narrator then.
All right.
Good old road trips, full of promise and ripe with potential for adventure, soul-searching, and incredible scenery. Or at least, that's what you thought before the novelty wore thin. As of now, your legs are cramping up, you've exhausted your travel playlist 2 times over, and your stomach is begging for something to eat. On top of all that, you're pretty sure you're lost. Driving through the Oregon paints a picture of trees and more trees, especially on the endless winding roads that you're taking up north. All that breaks the pattern is a sign that zips past with words that you're just able to make out. Gravity Falls. The road continues on, giant redwoods looming on both sides. You find yourself anticipating something, because as you drive on, you can feel it. Something strange is bound to happen here. Something weird. And that's when it happens. Your car picks up speed.
Oh, God.
The change came out of nowhere, and you quickly put your foot on the brakes. But horrifyingly, the car seems to be driving on its own willpower. Trying to stay calm despite the panic welling in your chest. Oh.
Uh-oh. Where'd it go?
Like weirdly minimized for us. You pull the emergency brake, only to find that the car resists and keeps moving forward. Like something is pulling it. The car begins to rattle, the wheels screech against the country road, and you're screaming until crash.
Uh-oh.
It's a gift shop.
It's the Mystery Shack.
It is. Oh, I had to click. There's smoke. Why is there smoke? You cough, fumble for the door, and manage to undo the lock just before the door is wrenched outward from your grasp. Something lands on your shoulder. A hand. Are you all right? Oh, okay.
Here we go.
This is
we got Ford.
All right. Do you want to do forward?
I can try. I can't do voices.
Neither can I. That's why
if anybody's heard our Dream Daddy, I can't do voices, particularly not.
All right. Why don't you do forward?
Okay.
A man stands at your open car door. His hand on your shoulder leaves to tilt your head up, and he pulls a flashlight from his coat, shining it into your eyes. 2 blinks, and he lets your chin go. His eyes dart over the rest of you, looking for injuries. Still stunned, all you do is watch.
What's your name?
That's pretty good, actually. Regular person.
What was it? Tad Strange. You remember that? Everyone here is a little weird, except for Tad Strange. Hi, I'm Tad Strange. I like bread.
So who should we be?
I don't know.
Should we do this as a continuation of Dream Daddy?
Jackpot?
Yeah.
Okay. Jack is in Gravity Falls, everybody.
It's true. This was like his college years.
He got lost trying to on his way to visit Amanda.
Oh my God, that's so amazing.
That would happen.
And your pronouns? I guess he. What would you do? What would you like?
Well, I mean, Jack is he, him, so.
Is he though? Are they?
Okay, they, them then.
I
that's what it sounds like.
Jackpot is.
Jack kind of, okay, Jack goes every which way.
Blends the lines.
Alright. Jackpot, I'm Stanford Pines. Ford for short. I would shake your hand, but you look shaken up enough as it is.
There's a hand icon
You seem fine, as far as I can tell, but you shouldn't head back out there anytime soon. Where on earth were you driving in such a hurry?
You open your mouth to explain when a voice calls from the inside the house. This is the other one.
This is Stan, so...
Poindexter, this better not be one of your experiments again. Had this place rebuilt too many times to...
We're not good.
No. The owner of the voice walks out of the house and stops slack-jawed at the side of your car and the side of, you're guessing, his house. No, he looks weird. He put on actual clothing.
The only difference is his jacket and the color of his wife beater.
I guess.
And the fact that he's wearing pants. But he wears pants when he leaves the house sometimes.
Sometimes.
Most of the time it's just his boxers. I think the weirdest part is no hat.
It's true.
The lack of the fez is what's...
I'm missing it.
Weird. Yeah.
You must have hit your head earlier because you could swear you're seeing double. Sweet Moses, Ford, you've done it this time.
What? This had nothing to do with me. I was testing my magnet gun and...
I feel like I need to... Hold on. I need to look up. What is stand...
Do you not... You don't remember?
I don't remember his voice. I need a... Yeah.
Education? Kid thing. It looks like a flag threw up on me.
That's probably not that bad.
No, yours isn't that bad.
Okay. Alright.
I did that.
Oh, okay.
It must have pulled this victim out of circumstance into the house. I suppose it's entirely my fault. I'm incredibly sorry.
Reassure yourself.
Cry.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We reassure ourselves, right?
Also, who are we gonna romance?
I don't know. Well, I feel like we should do both.
I mean, I think we should do both. But we'll see. Let's see how this goes.
All right.
Reassure yourself. Is that what you want?
Why not?
All right.
I can't believe this. My car. I guess I'm jackpot too.
All right.
What's going on? Who are these men? Why did this have to happen to you? Everything's going to be fine. I'm gonna get through this.
That's Stan.
Oh. Hey, look, it's fine, all right? There's a dent in the hood from the shack signage and a crack in the windshield that looks like an ominous triangle, but I'm sure she'll still run, right?
Oh, no.
Well, that turned.
What? Oh, you're right.
What does that mean?
Well, I think that's just saying... Wait, the symbol? What
well,
turned?
No, but, like, it used to be a hand.
Oh, that's because the hand is Ford's symbol.
Oh, that's right.
And then that's the symbol that was on the fez.
Right.
So that's just to tell you, I guess, who's talking.
You try to start up the car. It sputters, but ultimately nothing happens.
You feel like
Put this
crying.
back to the... There we go. You feel like crying. Oh. Well, let's call a tow truck for this unfortunate soul here and forget.
I'll take care of it.
You're right. It is cheaper to tow it yourself. Sixer, get that magnet gun out again.
No, Stanley, I'm going to fix this.
What? You fix this mess?
I figured out a few alien vehicles in my time.
Are you kidding me? It'd take some sort of miracle to bring this baby back to life. And this miracle worker's on vacation.
Stanley, a minute?
Ford and Stanley turn away and you're left to your thoughts. You can anticipate a car accident like this in the middle of a road trip. You can take care of the car, but how are you going to get home? Oh God, they run buses out here, right? So you take a bus out of here and then... Ford clears his throat, shifting a little awkwardly in place. Seems like they've finished their talk.
So there are a few options. My brother Stanley here could drive you out to town to find a place to stay for the night, or you could stay the night here. We have some maps and information you can look at in the gift shop, and in the morning we can help you with your car. What do you say?
Just as you're about to answer, another high-pitched voice comes from inside the house.
Uncle Stan, picture this, a whole week of, oh my gosh!
Well, the girl that runs out of the house comes to a halt at the side of your car. Oh, great.
Uncle Ford? Why is it everyone automatically thinks I'm at fault? Well, this time it is my fault, but I've invited Jackpot here to stay with us tonight, if they'd like. I'm sure I can fix this. I just have to figure out how.
Stanley sighs. I can take a look. Being on vacation's pretty boring, and the old Stanmobile hasn't needed a tune-up yet, so it wouldn't be too bad to work on something else in the meantime.
Thank you, Stanley. I'm sure I could put something together from the gadgets I have laying around if you need any specialized tools to help you with the job. And let me introduce myself. I'm Mabel. You can ask me anything. I pretty much know everything there is to know about this place.
Well, wait, hold on. I haven't even said anything yet. I appreciate your offer to let me stay.
And to repair your car.
Yeah, it'll be good as new in my hands. I mean, look at my Stamnobile. She's been through the ringer who knows how many times, and she's still a beaut.
He points out a red car parked a distance away. You can't really see how beautiful it is at this distance, but he sounds really confident.
Oh, God.
Well, this turn of events is...
Is it fortuitous or suspicious?
Jackpot would think it's fortuitous.
Okay, that's
Right.
true. That's true.
Free repairs, free lodging, there's no better deal to be found. And if things don't work out, the town probably has some sort of auto repair shop you can head to instead. Well, I accept. Thanks for the help.
And my apologies again. What an embarrassment. I must have made such an elementary mistake.
As the pines lead you inside the house, Mabel leaves her number in your phone for you to call whenever. You find that Ford's twin goes by Stan.
This part's the house. But just outside that door is the Mystery Shack. Hey, you ever been to the Mystery Shack before?
I want to do, actually. I saw a bumper sticker while I was on the road and got curious. You're interrupted by a loud, triumphant, "Ha!"
Those bumper stickers were a good investment. And Sixer says they're too plain and graphically simplistic. And don't even have an address on them. Stanley, how was anyone supposed to find the place to attract customers? Sixer, did you hear that?
Well, they are graphically simplistic. I don't know how they found the place, let alone thought what is the Mystery Shack was compelling.
I kind of liked it.
See, they kind of liked it. Hey, I like you, Jackpot. How about I give you a tour sometime tomorrow? Regular price.
Tomorrow? Then I'll have to squeeze all my get-to-know-you questions in today. Jackpot, tell me, capybara, yes or no?
At that moment, a boy passes in the hallway at the Ford doorway, and Ford calls out to him.
Dipper, my boy, I'm surprised I didn't see you run out to the scene of the crime.
All right, so who's gonna be Dipper? Should I do Dipper?
Do you want? Well, it's up to you.
Do Dipper, and then you get the next one.
Okay.
Crime? What crime? I have an alibi. Oh, you have someone with you.
It's just permanent voice crack, Dipper.
Yeah, I mean it has to be, right?
Yeah.
I can't do any of the other Dipper.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, haha, I'm not suspicious at all. Did you guys see that car in the side of the shack, though? For a second, I thought the Minotaurs were back.
The
with
Manitors.
The Manitors.
Yes, about that. Dipper, meet Jackpot. I've stranded their car here by accident. They're staying here for the time being.
Sorry, stranded their car here? You crashed it?
Yeah, the S in shack fell on it and everything, and the windows are cracked. One window, the windshield. And Jackpot was lucky to make it out alive. They were fine. No injuries, thankfully. The magnet gun's rather safe despite never having been tested in a formal setting.
Yeesh, did you not take safety precautions or anything?
Actually, the irony of the situation is that I was trying to install a safety precaution. He would.
Hey, if you two are gonna do your nerd talk, I'm gonna get Jackpot set up. Mabel, sweetie, why don't you sew Jackpot around? Let them stay in the storage room. That's still empty, right?
I'll make it empty.
What does that mean? The rest of the day consists of Mabel showing you the storage room you'll be staying in, then the kitchen, then the living room, the hallway, and the bathroom, and pretty much a comprehensive tour of the mundanities of a regular house. Eventually, you find out that the family is even more extended than you knew. The decorative doilies make
Doilies
make a lot more sense knowing that a grandmother normally lives here, and her grandson, Zeus. Or was it Zeus? Whatever the name, you look forward to meeting him when he comes for work in the morning. When you go to the attic, Mabel opens up the door to reveal Dipper, nose stuck in his book, but you catch him occasionally glancing up at you as he pretends to read.
We didn't get donations yet for lip stuff, so he's
true.
not a full pretty lady yet.
Not a full pretty lady, but there could be lip stuff. Whatever that means.
Oh, there's lots for that.
I keep licking my lips though, and it's gonna be a problem.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
You're gonna get lipstick on your teeth and everything.
Oh, I hate it. The next member of the family snorts up at you from Mabel's bed, a rotund pink pig who Mabel declares as her best friend and partner in crime, Waddles. The two are a perfect match, right down to the chubby cheeks and boopable noses. And in the evening, though you'd still been in disbelief over the state of your car, the family dinner and after-dinner TV marathon you'd been invited to made it seem like a normal guest house rather than a forced circumstance. Returning to the storage room Mabel had shown you earlier.
That window.
Right? You find an air mattress waiting for you and more pillows and sheets than a summer night warrants. You wake to the weak glare of sunlight streaming in through the small, high window in the wall. You can't remember your room having this kind of feature, or any hotel room or motel room for that matter, and then yesterday comes crashing back to you. You glance at the time to see that you've slept into the afternoon. Experiencing the accident yesterday must have left you tired out. Despite having been assured yesterday that evening that you were free to anything in the fridge, you still feel like you're imposing on the Pines family and try preparing as polite a breakfast as you can. You wash your dishes in the sink before you leave, and just as you're about to exit the kitchen, you bump into Ford.
Yes, from yesterday, of course.
For a good solid moment, Ford regards you in awkward silence. Ford clears his throat.
I believe Stanley's taking a look at your car outside, if you want to be there for it.
You give a nod and make to leave for real this time when Ford speaks up again.
And jackpot, I'm sorry again for the accident. If I'd been smarter about, well, let's just say it's entirely my fault and you shouldn't worry about this at all. When it comes down to it, Stanley does have a knack for cars. I predict you'll be back on the road in a matter of weeks.
Weeks? You can't keep the dismay off your face. You can't really bring yourself to try to either. What am I gonna do with weeks? Ford, who had gone kind of uncomfortable and closed off when your face fell, recovers at the prospect of a question he can answer.
Well, there's the town tour, of course. And the mystery shack. But if you ask me, all that pales in comparison to... Hold on, do you hear that?
Ford turns to the kitchen doorway to investigate.
Sounds like...
The sound comes again, and this time you hear as well the squeal of a pig, followed by a pair of quick footsteps running down the stairs. Waddles tumbles past the open kitchen doorway, and Mabel comes into view soon after, a few sheets of paper clutched in hand. Ford steps quickly out of the kitchen, and you follow to the doorway, getting there just in time to see the apparent tug-of-war between Mabel and her pig over a saliva-covered sheet of paper. The paper rips, and after nearly toppling backward from her efforts, Mabel recovers, snatching up the scrap of ripped paper from Waddles' jaw and lifting both pieces up victoriously.
Ha-ha! Mabel wins again! Now I just gotta find Grunkle Ford!
Ford, who had run forward with a hand held out to steady his energetic child when she'd been in danger of toppling over, now finds a number of crumpled sheets of paper shoved into his hands. Mabel tugs urgently at his coat.
Grunkle Ford, you've gotta help me!
Ford kneels down to face Mabel with a serious, though concerned look.
Slow down, Mabel. What's the matter? Dipper found a stack of pages from your old journals, and I walked in, and Waddles ran up and started eating one of them, and he must have been chewing on it to warn me, Grunkle Ford, because look!
Mabel takes the ripped halves of paper back from Ford's hand and joins them together, holding it up for Ford to see.
I see. And you took this as a warning? Yes! It says here that it eats small dogs, and Waddles is a small pig, but he sort of looks like a dog from far away, and Waddles must have feared for his life.
Waddles seems to second this notion with a snort, or not, as it seems the pig is lounging adorably a short distance away in the hallway.
I love Waddles.
You can't imagine what this dangerous predator could be, some kind of wolf, something bigger. You're suddenly not so keen on staying anymore.
Remember the pterodactyl I told you about? Waddles was so scared that time, I can't let him leave my side.
Pterodactyl? I suppose pigs are allowed in museums around here.
How about I finish that repellent I never got around to completing? That'll keep Waddles safe from harm.
Mabel's flops down on the floor in relief.
Grunkle Ford, you are an actual lifesaver. Waddles, you have nothing to fear.
Ford chuckles, lifting himself out of the kneel and standing back up. Oh, God.
You okay?
I don't know why.
All right, I'll go get my recipe.
Ford turns to leave, and you suddenly remember that with nothing better to do for the weeks you're going to be here, it wouldn't hurt to get to know Ford. He seems to know that there is what there is to do around town anyway, and you'll need that to not die of boredom in the first week. Or more pressingly, you could go check on your car and see what Stan's made out of it so far. You're not exactly eager to face seeing your car in the side of the house again, though. Okay, so I guess this is like the first choose which one you want.
Well, it's very clear. Ford or Stan.
So let's make a save right here. We have a lot of empty slots. Oh, there's automatic and there's quick saves. Okay, cool. I think we got to pick one and then we can do the other one.
Yeah,
and it seems like Stan already likes us a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
So
Ford's a little bit of a tough nut to crack, I think.
Yeah, okay. So we'll do
Let's go to Stan
first and then we'll do the Ford.
Okay.
After Ford leaves, Mabel rolls away with her pig towards the living room and you head out of the house in search of Stan.
If you're doing Stan's voice then, because do you want me to just do Jack? Because there's going to be a lot of interaction between the two.
Sure, yeah. Okay. The Mystery Shack should only have 4 main sides, but you feel like you've made your rounds past 5 of them before finally seeing your absolute wreck of a car. You swear it looks even worse than it did when you crashed it. Stan stands before it, hands on his hips as he looks at the large wooden S that made its indent in the car's hood.
How bad is it?
Can't tell yet. Not until I get this letter off the hood. That S never did like to stay in place.
Mystery hack, huh?
Look, if you're gonna insult me... Oh, you were reading the sign. I'm fixing that later, alright? Just avert your eyes. Don't look at it.
Obviously offer to help.
Yeah.
Guess we should fix it as soon as possible then.
Sounds good to me. Give me a hand here, would you?
Stan directs you to help him push the wooden S off the car. It stalls a little in its own dent, but with another firm shove its ends meet the ground. Stan gives it another push with a grunt, and it tips, falling completely to the ground with whoomp. Now that it's free of its burden, Stan lifts up the dented hood of the car and takes a look inside. He hums and huhs and rubs a hand over his chin in thought, walking over to his toolbox and grabbing a tool before walking back, still assessing the damage.
Yeah, this one's gonna take a while. Unless you've got parts that need replacing. Not to mention she's not gonna look so hot after this. Not unless Ford's got the tech squirreled away somewhere that can smooth out these dents.
The more he tells you of the situation, the more this all sinks in. You really are stuck here. Stan spots your worried frown.
Hey, jackpot, right? Look, I know how this sounds, but with me on the job, you'll be all set and back on the road in no time.
Think so?
Kid, I know so. I've even got a plan to get those replacement parts of yours. Might not be able to clean up all these scuff marks after I'm done, but you'll run. And hey, so maybe you gotta stay a couple of days. So what? There are worse places to get stranded, believe me. In fact, I'd even say the Mystery Shack is the best place to get stranded. We got all tons of stuff for people just passing through. Merchandise, magic, mystery, any other M words, mayhem, you get the idea.
Stan tosses the tool in his hand back in the toolbox, exchanging it for another. He works for a little while longer in your silence, metallic clinks and the occasional heavy breath, all that mixes in with the sounds of the outdoors. You stand by, awkward, uncomfortable, and a little useless.
Can I help with anything?
Know anything about cars?
No.
Stan straightens, cracks his back, and sets down a tool before leaning casually against the nearest load-bearing surface. He wipes his forehead and lets his hand fall to his waist and gives you an assessing look.
How about galoshes, tall tales, improv?
Yeah, I think I can handle that, but what does that have to do with this?
You gesture at your stranded car, held in limbo between life and death by nothing other than Stan Pine's car expertise and a little luck.
Nothing, I was planning on having you help Seuss around the shack. A favor for a favor. What do you say?
Well, it's more interesting than helping Ford with his pest problem. You accept.
Alright, follow me.
You follow Stan back into the Mystery Shack, passing by the showroom and getting a glimpse of an energetic figure leading a flock of tourists through a veritable sea of obviously fabricated oddities. You hear the words, and this is the...
I guess I'll do it, because
Okay.
the next one is Seuss.
Yes.
And this is the 9th wonder of the world, right in the Mystery Shack. It's what makes this place world famous, dudes.
It's actually really good, Seuss.
Thank you. I've seen that show enough times. I should hopefully do at least one of the voices,
Really
okay?
good. Stan notices your pace slowing as you listen and tosses an explanation back for you.
That's Seuss. During operating hours, he's the Mystery Shack's one and only Mr. Mystery. I told him he didn't have to keep the shack running while he's on vacation, but the kid's got a passion for the role. You interested in this kind of stuff?
I was thinking about going on a tour.
Feels weird now that you're staying at a tourist trap, though, and you were kind of going to poke fun at the exhibits. Harder to do when you have to live around your tour guide.
It's fine, really.
Nah, I think I want to give you a tour of the place. You'll get one from the founder himself. You ever hear one of my plugs on the radio?
You weren't really paying attention to the radio during the drive, just taking in the Oregon scenery.
See the signs post pointing to the place for over a mile down the road?
Again, you were pretty preoccupied with the Oregon scenery, but you guess you did see some signs with question marks on them? That's some vague advertising.
Just seeing what works. Bumper stickers, huh? Ha, still got one on 4. Anyway, follow me, folks. Well, folk, get ready to be amazed.
This developer knows the characters very well.
They really do.
Oh my gosh.
Stan starts leading you back the way you came. You trail behind him, a little skeptical, but definitely curious.
Didn't you say the founder would lead this tour? Is Seuss the founder?
Stan laughs.
What? No, I'm the founder. Built this place from the ground up. Well, metaphorically speaking, I mean the house was here and the junk was here, but I was the one who spun this place into a wondrous house of mysterious junk.
Stan gestures with his arms like he's smoothing out a rainbow. You're not very impressed.
Prepare to be amazed.
You're still not very impressed, but his energy gets you hoping you'll be amazed anyway.
There's a tour group in the showroom right now, so I'll be taking you on a different cycle that completely messes up. We're starting in the gift shop.
Of course we are.
Yeah, right?
You enter the gift shop, a simple room crowded top to bottom with the standard tourist souvenirs and merchandise. You see t-shirts with question marks, mugs with question marks, and pretty much everything has question marks. In one corner of the room stands a lumpy attempt of a statue labeled The Founder, recognizable as Stan only by nose and glasses.
This room usually comes after I butter up the customers into buying things, but since you're staying a while, I'll have plenty of time to sell you stuff later. Take a look around. If you see an impulse buy, make it. Nothing like trusting your instincts.
Oh my god. Okay. What do we look at first?
Oh my god, the employee of every month.
Alright, well, let's do that.
Seuss has always been the hardest worker in the place. It was only natural to hand it over to him.
Oh, okay. Pine tree hat?
Sure.
I guess we want to go backwards up here?
Sure, why not?
Alright.
Dipper used to wear one of those. Seuss tells me they sold like hotcakes after Ford tossed his journals into the bottomless pit. Funny, those events have no correlation.
Oh
Journals?
no.
Bottomless pit?
We'll have a chance to swing by the bottomless pit later. It's a prime spot on every tour because the troublemakers always accidentally trip in and I get to lead the tour without them for 20 minutes. I'm kidding. Should have seen the look on your face.
He would do that.
Wood. Pyramid of mugs.
You can't actually take one out of the stack. I glued them together. Way back when. Secret business trick.
And you're telling me because...
No one will ever believe you. Then they'll try it, and the whole stack will fall to the floor.
You notice that if you break it, you buy it sign on the wall. Jesus, this is really good.
This is really good.
Who doesn't love a good souvenir t-shirt? They're great for layering. And they've got the characteristic Mystery Shack question mark on them.
What makes it a Mystery Shack question mark instead of just a regular question mark?
You ask too many questions. Or do you?
He says that last part in an exaggerated tone that betrays it as a sales pitch. This guy has no subtlety. Oh, the Stan voice is hard. How does Alex Hirsch do it?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Because he still does it on like various Disney shows that he guest stars in and stuff.
Oh, it really takes it out of you. Okay.
Just because you're staying over does not mean you get to sneak over here for a popsicle. I get to do that, but that's because this used to be my place, and I get founder benefits. I also get founder dibs on the pineapple ice pops.
Jar of eyeballs.
Thought we sold this thing years ago. Ha, nah, I forgot to put a price on it, just has a dollar sign on it.
Stan takes a dark marker and squeezes in a $9.99. Then he goes back and makes it $29.99.
That jar's got a lot of eyeballs.
Hello. Ask the calendar.
I absolutely know how to read that writing, and you should buy it. Yeah, should have asked Mabel to carve it. You gotta admit, every vision of me's got a charming smile, though.
Okay.
All right.
Oh my god.
It was a good tour.
That is a good tour of the gift shop.
You sure? Well, I think I hear the tour group heading out of the showroom anyway. Now, most tourists don't appreciate nature's artistic genius. By which I mean my artistic genius, because I remember you're going to help me out today. You don't think up a money-making wonder like the Sasquatch by having a boring 9-to-5 office job. You think it up when you wonder, why hasn't anyone found the Sasquatch? Could it be that its name has been mispronounced this whole time? Anyway, just let me know when you've soaked up enough inspiration from this room, because you're going to need it to use it right after.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Alright, come on, you're going to see what makes this place the Mystery Shack instead of just the Shack. We're making another attraction for the showroom.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh no. You follow Stan through the living room to the kitchen, where stuffing and animal parts are strewn across the surface to your left. Stan pulls out a thick needle and spool of thread, and as an afterthought adds a couple of nails and a hammer to the pile. It seems a little unsanitary to do this right across from the fridge, and has the potential to look almost gruesome if it weren't so oddly cartoonish. He steps up to the workplace and pulls at the googly eyes that have been glued over the lifeless, glassy ones typical of taxidermy. Mabel's contributions to the craft project remain firmly intact.
Huh, that's what I get for letting Mabel bring your stash of scrapbooking supplies. That's one more thing to add to the backstory.
Backstory?
What, you don't really think the tourists are dumb enough to believe that the thing you're selling them is what you tell them just because they look like that, do you? Because if you do, you'll be set to do business in Gravity Falls. Anywhere else, though, customers take a little more work. See, every good piece comes with some kind of story, or if you're Poindexter, some kind of lore. Horror stories work pretty well because with enough suggestion, people can always find ways to spook themselves. Done it for years. It's kind of an art.
I wonder if the music's a little too loud. It seems like it is. Let me drop the music down a little. Okay. It's probably a little better, hopefully. Okay, there we go. Stan appears nonchalant, but you can see a quiet pride within him.
Sounds hard. I think that's the way to
we gotta appease
to
him.
romance him.
That's why I'm here, to make sure you do it right. You're still doing all the work, though.
You said you've done this for years?
Always had a knack for it, even when I was a kid. Sure, there was a little learning curve involved, but I've had a few unhappy customers over the years.
Stan pauses seemingly to reminisce, and the mixed smile grimace on his face tells you probably had many, many unhappy customers.
But mostly I've had a great run of business on telling lies. I mean stories. You're learning from a true master, kid.
Ooh.
Okay. This is tough.
Maybe you play into his...
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Okay.
Vision. Make money. What other vision do you need? But over the years, sure, I've used the mystery line for advertising. Who isn't curious? Who doesn't want to be amazed? Kids are the most skeptical of the bunch, though, let me tell you. Once they hit about 8 or 9, they love trying to prove it's all fake. And then they get older and realize there's nothing good left in the world unless you pretend that there is. And everyone pretends along with you, because they're all desperate.
Oh, those are just questions.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I guess the first one then.
Okay. Why don't you run this place anymore? Stan's grin melts into something softer, maybe a little bittersweet. Why does it
keep twisting?
I don't know. I'll just hold it.
Oh.
My brother wanted to drag me off on a trip with him.
What?
Couldn't say no, and I couldn't just close the place, so I left it all to Seuss. He practically grew up in this place, you know? Definitely wouldn't have entrusted it to Wendy. She's usually the cashier around here in the summer. It's weird having to explain all this to you. I keep thinking you already know all this.
You work like you're still a part of this place.
You can take a man out of the mystery shack, but you never take the mystery out of a man. Specifically me, which is why I'm back to work even though I don't have to. 30 years of the same routine will do that to you.
Stan turns his attention back to the workspace, and you notice once more the daunting selection of items that lay upon the table. It's not the number, but the variety that makes you unsure of how you're going to craft something out of this.
Yeah, I don't know what you're going to do with this stuff. Surprise me.
Alright.
Stan walks off to the side, you guess, to do some work of his own. You're glad he's not going to watch you the whole way through. Oh.
Okay. I think
you would appreciate the disparate parts,
yeah,
right?
I feel like that too, because he wants it to be weird and nonsensical, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess try that.
Well, here, we can
Save.
save.
Make sure that we get the...
Okay.
Okay.
Now, how should you keep these parts attached? Hammer nails, obvious.
I'm torn between that or the stapler.
Oh, okay.
Do you think? Because he just throws things together.
That's true. Hammer nails, I think.
Okay.
Okay, you have a base to work off of. What's next? Hello.
Hello.
I guess color in some of the fur?
Yeah, let's try that. Why not? Hey, Stan, I'm finished.
Good enough.
Stan picks up your disturbing creation gingerly.
So what's the story here? Give it to me.
Okay.
How do you want to approach this? More fiction than facts?
I think
Or just have fun with it?
just have fun with it. This is a fiskorkin, a fish, squirrel, chicken.
Stan nods appraisingly.
Sounds like you got the hang of this. Alright, this thing's as close to show ready as it'll get. Wait here a sec.
Stan carries the showpiece out of the room. After a few moments, you hear his footsteps return, and he comes into the room with 2 cans of Pick Cola. Stan sets one down on the dining table, and its condensation starting to slow drip onto the table's surface. He waves you over to join him, and you slide into the seat across from him.
Nothing like a cold one to finish up the day. Cheers!
He picks up the can, gesturing towards you with it as he leans leisurely back in his chair, and you watch as he takes a sip. It's a nice looking sip, and now you're staring.
Oh god, here we
You
go.
pull over to your own can and pop it open.
So, got any questions for me?
I'm waiting for us to like choke on the pit in it or something.
Right? Thank you for watching the Viscera videos.
Talking Denza eased me into a new place. Might do the same for you. So, you got any questions for me?
Alright, so I guess about Ford. It's the
Mm,
first one.
we
Well,
kinda-
okay, let's do him then first, just to make sure we don't lose it.
Yeah.
So tell me about yourself.
Stan laughs nervously.
What is this, a first date? Well, I'm Pines, Stan Pines, Imaginator, Town Darling, used to be the proprietor of the Mystery Shack.
He pauses and stays paused. You give him an expectant look that wants him to continue, and he clears his throat, nervous.
What, you were serious? I don't get this often. The longest I can get people to listen to me is when I'm selling them something, and even then, it's tough luck. The last time someone listened to me, they tried to eat me. Can you believe that? I barely got much meat left on me.
And keep going. You can't just end it there.
Stan gives an uncertain smile, which becomes a full-on grin, and he laughs.
All right, I'll tell you. So you see, there's this irresistible thing called revenge.
Stan tells you a tale of a road trip, a mountain full of mummies, and a woman who's secretly a spider. Oh.
That's a good episode.
You don't believe a word of it, but find yourself enjoying it anyway. Stan knows how to hold his audience in a decent suspense, and he seems to light up whenever you laugh at the right parts, grinning along with you.
Hell yeah.
Before today, you'd never even heard of Mr. Mystery before, but now you feel like you're really seeing something special here. One-on-one with the man himself.
I just can't believe this is what it is.
It's just, yeah, exhibits.
Yep.
The showroom already...
The showroom already seemed full when I saw it earlier. Why make more?
Tourists love variety. Put up a sign advertising a new attraction and they'll come pouring through the doors. When I started this place, I didn't think I'd, like making these. Used to just be another thing that made money. Now I'm stuck with it. Guess 30-something years of routine will do that to a man.
It's like picking me up, too.
Oh, sorry.
You're right. If we pull this over a little and point it towards you.
I don't know if I can pull it much harder.
Yeah, there's plenty of cable.
No, it wasn't the cable that was an issue.
Aha.
Okay. Yep.
Let's see. Does that work?
It actually works a little bit better.
Okay.
Now we have 2 mics in front of us. Okay.
Now I'm stuck with it. Guess 30-something years of routine will do that to a man.
Stan sounds gruff, but it's a fond gruffness.
Sixer says keeping familiar habits helps too, so I've kept it up. You think I could sell some of these as art pieces?
Oh.
Oh. I think yes, right? Like,
Yeah, I could play them up to buyers and sell them at even more ridiculous prices than I usually would.
Alright, so I guess we gotta ask about Ford now.
Yeah. This is Swooning Over Stans, the Grunkle Stan dating simulator.
Yeah, so it's a fan game about Gravity Falls, where you get to romance both of the Grunkles.
Yes.
So.
Alright, so about Ford, I guess.
Is Ford usually like that?
You mean trying to fix what ain't broken and ending up making trouble? Nah, he was the good twin grown-up.
You were the troublemaker. I can tell.
Stan laughs.
You have no idea.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, here we go. About his past.
So you're really interested in me, huh? Or do you ask everyone these kind of questions?
Ooh.
I'm mainly interested in you.
Alright, ever heard of smuggling pigs?
Yes, the pug smuggling.
No?
Exactly. That's because everyone in the business is good at keeping secrets. Really good. So why am I telling you now? I'm out of the business. I don't care. This absolutely isn't so that if the authorities question you, you'll give false information that leads them off my trail.
Right.
Stan loads you up with false information that may or may not contain kernels of truth within them. It's surprisingly hard to tell whether the crazier parts are embellishment or the real deal. Stan tips his head back to get that final sip of pit, and then sets his empty can down with an air of finality.
Well, Jackpot, you did good for your first try. If you feel like helping me around again sometime, returning the favor on the car, let me know.
You nod, and Stan gets up to leave when you remember something.
Wait, I still owe you the price of admission, right? For the tour earlier?
Nah, don't worry about it. Gives me something to hold over you if I need it.
He says that, and he leaves. But even from what little you've seen from him, you feel like Stan's not the type to really hold that over you. At least, not for anything serious. Oh, I can go backwards. That's weird.
Oh, okay.
This tourist trap might have a lot more to offer you than you thought. Oh my god, is that all?
What?
This is gonna be so long.
Okay, we might just do one Grunkle then.
Yeah, maybe. That's insane.
Oh, did we not choose the right choices all the time? I thought we
I
did.
thought we did.
I mean, some of them were kind of obvious.
Right?
Aw.
Okay. You wake up to a loud crash downstairs. Not entirely uncommon in this house, you're quickly finding out, but still disconcerting. More clatters and thumps lead you to the kitchen, where Mabel teeters on a short stepladder in front of the pantry. Standing on her tiptoes, she reaches as high as she can for a small yellow box on the top shelf. Pancake mix. Without a word, you go to her side and pluck the box from the shelf for her, placing it into her outstretched hand.
Oh, jackpot! Thank you! Grunkle Stan put it on the top shelf for some reason, but I need some Mabel cakes. It's a breakfast emergency!
She waggles her free fingers in your face, and you can't help but laugh. You can tell the house becomes more alive when this kid's around.
Want to help me make them? We only need chocolate milk, coffee, pink food coloring, and pot of Goldos to make this breakfast dream a breakfast reality.
That doesn't sound horrible, actually.
Yeah.
It's like espresso, or no, it's like a mocha cereal.
Yeah, it could be worse.
Yeah. As delicious as that sounds, you're inclined to ask where the coffee comes into the mix when you realize the house is suspiciously quiet.
Mabel, where is everybody? Oh, Grunkle Stan needed stuff for your car, so he went to go get Mecky Techie stuff for that. I think Grunkle Ford's somewhere.
He heard the abominable bro man was trying to steal soda cans for campers, so he went to help them out.
Abominable bro man! Yep, that's where he went. Totally knew that.
Why is he in permanent, wide-eye mode?
Because, I don't know, I feel like Dipper's seen some shit, so he's just kind of, always spooked. So they left you guys to make breakfast on your own?
You don't know the family well enough to yet know if this is commonplace, so the idea of leaving two teenagers alone to fend for themselves seems fine. If one of the teenagers wasn't Mabel, anyway. You still don't know how coffee fits into her Mabel cakes, but now you don't really want to know. Dipper attempts to hide the pancake mix from Mabel while she's grabbing the chocolate milk from the fridge. Apparently he doesn't want to find out either.
Mabel, while your Mabel cakes sound absolutely divine, why don't we...
Quick, think of something so you don't hurt her feelings.
Alright. Go out for
Oh
breakfast.
god, yeah, no.
Is there somewhere we can go out to get breakfast? We really should save the Mabel cakes till your great uncles get back. I know they wouldn't want to miss them. But I want to perfect my recipe. I have to get better at cooking and baking and stuff so I can survive out there in the world. What if in high school I'll have to bake stuff and people are better than me?
Mabel looks very agitated, tugging at her hair with both hands.
If I can't make the perfect Mabel cakes, I can never be on Bad Dreams Dining. I gotta impress Gerald Rambone, jackpot. It's my destiny. Well, bye. Thanks for watching.
Yep, see ya. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay,
All
Dipper.
right, Dipper.
Maybe Dipper can help you make something different? We should save the Mabel cakes for another day. A more special day. But jackpot!
Mabel, still standing there in the stepladder, reaches up and squishes your cheeks together, her wide eyes staring into your soul.
Every day is a special day with Mabel cakes.
You glance at Dipper, making a please help me and I'll buy you breakfast face you hope he understands. Yeah, Mabel, I know you want to cook more since you're...
Becoming an adult.
Sure, but you think Uncle Stan and Great Uncle Ford should be here to try them too? And not just me? Again? Mabel hops off the step ladder and ponders her brother's question, lips pursed. Eventually she nods, beaming at you both.
You're right, Dipper. I can't deny them that experience.
You give Dipper a thankful smile over Mabel's head as she puts the ingredients back in the refrigerator. She grins back at you, rubbing the back of his neck. You wonder if he got that one from one of his grunkles. That's clever, now that you think about it. Great plus uncle to make it grunkle. Saves time on syllables.
We should go to Greasy's. They have some of the best pancakes there, with like 3 different kinds of syrup, if you ask Lazy Susan nicely.
Yeah, it's not super far. Let's go. The kids are about to head out of the kitchen when you realize something.
Wait, aren't you gonna leave a note for your grunkles about where we're going?
Oh, right, good call. Dipper scribbles a note for Stan and Ford and sticks it on the front door of the shack with one of Mabel's stickers. The kids lead the way towards the town, explaining various landmarks and the wild and wonderful stories attached to them. Oops. Oh, I can go backwards, though. Along the way.
And this is where we saw those 2 ghostly old people.
In a convenience store? Strange, but you nod regardless. Maybe she just meant they were so old, they look like ghosts. Dipper points to the diner in the distance, a log-shaped building atop a train cart. Then the 3 of you head inside. You soon realize that the kids know just about everyone in town. Several people, young and old, wave at them as the 3 of you find a table, and you get the feeling that they're almost famous in Gravity Falls, though you're not entirely sure why. They're pretty cute, though. Mabel blows the paper wrapper of her straw at Dipper's face, and he retaliates by swatting her with the laminated menu. An elder woman in a pastel pink waitress dress comes up to the table, and you catch the name on her tag, Susan. I don't remember Susan's voice.
It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hiya, kids!
Oh.
And stranger! What can I get for ya? Pancakes and all 3 syrups for me, please, Lazy Susan.
Same for me, actually. Lazy Susan turns to you, notepad in hand. What will you get?
Pancakes.
Oh, yeah, pancakes.
Obviously
We've been told the
pancakes.
Waffles.
Coming right up, sweetie.
Lazy Susan winks, with her good eye, of course, and heads to the back of the diner. You know, I'm curious on something.
Yeah.
I'm very curious. Is it on here? Oh, no, it's not. Alright. Or maybe I should just type in.
I'm gonna Google it real fast, yeah.
Oops. Wow. There's a wiki and everything.
I'm
Wow.
not surprised. The creator response.
Oh, he actually did it on a charity stream.
Yeah, that's fun. We don't have to do the whole thing tonight.
No, I was just curious is all. All right. The wait for your food to arrive feels longer here than most, mainly due to Mabel and Dipper using this time to interrogate you. At first, it's somewhat intimidating. You literally crashed into their house and started hanging out with their great uncles. They have lots of questions. Once the irrational feel of two 13-year-olds fades out, you recognize their interview for what it really is. They care for their uncles. If you start hanging out with them more, they want to know as much about you as possible. Mabel's questions are somewhat nonsensical.
So, if you were stranded on a deserted island with no boat, no cheating, what would you take with you?
A boat. While Dippers are more careful and calculated. What were you doing before you came here? School? Work? Both? Neither? Did you know about the gravity falls before you crashed into the shack? You immediately know which grunkle each twin takes after. Stan and Mabel, goofy partners in crime, versus the quiet brainiacs, Ford and Dipper. It's an intriguing contrast, especially now that you're thrown into the middle of the bunch. Oh, okay, so we need to go on Mabel's good side to get in.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. But as the twins race to see which syrup bottle drips into their mouths, the fastest, Dipper's blueberry syrup beats Mabel's classic maple by half a millisecond, you swear on it. And you know that the kids do a lot more for their great uncles than just be cute counterparts.
And here we go. Enjoy, kiddos. Let me know if you need anything else.
Lazy Susan gives out the respective plates so the kids go quiet, shoveling down their food like they've never been fed before. Between mouthfuls, you get a few more questions about yourself and your theories on aliens versus which member of the M Synchronize was your favorite, but the table is near silent as the three of you eat. That is, until Mabel speaks up through a mouthful of pancake.
So, jackpot. If in a totally made up and not real situation, you had to pick who your favorite was, who'd you pick? Grunkle Stan or Grunkle Ford?
Dun dun dun. This seems too planned compared to her other cutesy questions. Dipper elbows his sister not so subtly, and she elbows him right back, wide eyes staring at him in a sibling-linked look you can't decipher.
Like, say you're in a movie. Like one of those weird movies Grunkle Stan watches on TV, with those lady in poofy dresses riding horses. Remember he got really hooked on, like, he couldn't change the channel on the old-fashioned, period dramas, and then he got into them.
Awfully specific, but you let her continue, taking another bite of your food.
You're the main character of this movie, and you've got two guys who are both madly in love with you.
This one doesn't mess around with getting right to the point, huh?
You've been here for a day.
I know, right?
But you could only marry one of them, so you could be the next in line for the throne. What would you do? If Grunkle Stan and Grunkle Ford were your choices, who would you go with?
Maybe that's kind of weird, isn't it? Like, really weird and kind of gross.
Yes. Come on, Dipper. This is important information that's vital to my research.
What research?
None of your business. Yet. But I'm still gathering other research.
Mabel leans towards Dipper's ear to whisper, waggling her eyebrow at you before she replies, in not a whisper, but quite the opposite.
Research into how you're a huge nerd.
And with that, Mabel catapults the spoonful of melted butter from atop her pancakes onto Dipper's cheek with a very satisfying splat. Dipper jerks in disgust but retaliates by smearing strawberry syrup onto Mabel's nose, a drop of stickiness plopping onto her sweater.
Ew, gross!
You're gross! There's no vitriol between the twins, but lots of giggles and a few more various food missiles. Eventually, syrup streaks Mabel's cheekbones and some of her hair, and Dipper has a small piece of pancake stuck to his face. Oh, thank you very much.
You guys are dorks. Maybe you're right, but we're twins, so it's adorable.
If you say so, Mabel.
Wait, quick, jackpot! Take a picture of us while Dipper's got pancake on his face.
I have what? He swipes quickly at his face and after several passes gets it off.
Aw, I was trying to get more candid pictures of us.
Mabel, you... Oh, that's you.
Oh, Mabel, you have syrup everywhere. Really? Ah, then it would have been a perfect photo. Here, let me get it. Your hands are sticky enough.
You get back up with napkin in hand and try to wipe some of the syrup off of Mabel's cheeks. The excess syrup swipes off easily, but a good portion doesn't budge.
I mean, maybe syrup as makeup is the next new look?
That's one word for it, kid.
The grunkles. We wondered where you went once we came back to a suspiciously quiet house. If it weren't for Dipper's note, we would have been worried.
Sixer would have been worried. I tried to tell him you kids pull this kind of stuff all the time. Heading out unannounced, putting stress on your poor old grunkle's heart.
He puts a hand over his heart dramatically.
All those missing hours of unpaid child labor.
Actually, that note wasn't me. Well, I wrote it, but Jack Potts here, the one who said we should so that you knew where we went. Both Ford and Stan turned to look at you surprised.
What?
Really? Figure these two knuckleheads dragged you here.
Why not make breakfast at home? This place is at least a 15-minute walk from the shack.
That's not that far.
I know. Well...
He glanced at Dipper, swiping his fingers across Mabel's cheek and licking the blueberry syrup off. Mabel has a pancake in her mouth, chewing on it like grazing sheep.
I wanted to treat them to something, I guess. It's the least I can do. You're letting me stay with you and fixing my car. I thought since you were gone, I'd take these two out for a change.
Also, Mabel was gonna make Mabel cake again.
You're just mad you can't even make toast right.
What? Yes, I can. I burned it one time. One time. Dipper holds his syrup-tipped finger in the air, indignant.
Well, Mabel wanted you guys to enjoy her Mabel cakes too, and since there wasn't much food, I figured I'd take them out.
Ford asks Mabel about her creation, wondering how much extra caffeine one could gain from adding instant coffee to the concoction, but Stan stays quiet. You catch him out of the corner of your eye. He's staring at you, a lopsided smile tugging at the corner of his mouth.
Huh. Thanks, Jackpot. Appreciate it.
Oh, no problem at all.
You smile warmly at Stan, despite the heat spreading over your cheeks, but he's rubbing the back of his neck, looking down to his feet. Mabel throws a theatrical wink your way. You're not sure why.
Well, kid, if you're paying, scoot over, Dipper. I want breakfast too.
Stanley, it's at least 12:30 now. Grunkle Ford, that means it's time for brunch. Duh.
See, this kid gets me. Now let me in so I can get some grub.
Oh, that's great. You'll
Yeah.
love this dating sim then.
Gravity Falls is so good. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite cartoons.
She's the one that showed me it all.
Yeah.
Dipper moves to your side of the booth, and Stan sits next to Mabel, and Ford sits at Dipper's side. Lazy Susan comes back and takes orders for another round of food and drinks for everyone, including Mabel, who decides she wants more pancakes. You're starting to regret offering to pay, but as Stan and Mabel try their hand at the syrup drip race with Dipper cheering them on, Ford watching with a wide grin on his face, you know you don't really mind that much. Over the next few days, you continue to help out around the Mystery Shack. Not out of obligation, but because you have nothing really better to do. Besides, Seuss, practically the golden retriever of the people, is really digging the input on the current installments from an outsider's perspective. Bless his soul, the guy even offered you a job if you end up stranded here forever, dude.
Ended up stranded here forever, dude.
And need to make a life for yourself. Stan nearly choked out his ice pop as he overheard. Thinking about it now, the relationship between Seuss and Stan is unexpected, if not a little odd, but it makes you smile no matter how many times Stan may roll his eyes as he does it. You'll always help Seuss get something done just right. Showered and dressed, you go outside as per usual, but don't see anyone. After a few minutes' search, you find Stan standing with his back to you in one of the exhibit rooms, admiring the weird and thoughtful, wonderful animal amalgamates he's collected for his tourist trap, hand at his chin in thought.
Am I interrupting something important between you and the Gooserky?
Stan turns at the sound of your voice, smiling.
Nope. You need something?
You have any plans tonight?
He mulls your question over for a few moments, giving you an assessing look up and down.
I got a couple of errands to run. Why, you want to tag along?
Partner in crime.
Yeah. Stan blinks in surprise.
Ha! What are you, psychic?
Oh, yeah, that was a good choice.
Wait, really? It was just a figure of speech, but you guess you should have known better.
Alright, I'm heading out in a couple of hours. Meet me out front.
A couple of hours, but...
No buts, Jackpot. You can't rush this stuff. Trust me.
Okay, sure. Not ominous at all, Stan.
Yeah. Meet me out front if you think you can handle it.
He turns to go, but stops for a second and then turns back.
Oh, and wear black. Something you don't mind getting dirty.
Oh no. Before you can ask why, he's gone into the depths of the shack.
Oh, God.
A couple of hours turns into a handful, which you pass by watching some TV with Mabel and Dipper and dozing off. You have no idea what kind of satellite they get out here, but the shows on now are some of the most bizarre programming you've ever seen.
Are they watching Detective?
Maybe. Once you've had enough of waiting, you change into your darkest clothes and sit out on the front steps of the shack, watching as the sun starts to sink past the trees. It's cloudy and unusually warm for this time of day, but there's a nice breeze out. It's strange that these errands need to happen so late in the day. Considering the things you've gathered about his criminal past, however, maybe this is a typical weekday night for Stan. The screen door creaks, and out comes Stan, dressed in all black just like you are, with a lumpy duffel bag under one arm and a briefcase in the other hand. As he's about to speak, a sudden gust of wind comes along and ruffles his hair, and he smooths it down irritatedly before regaining his cool and nodding at you. Ready?
Ready.
You slide into the passenger seat as Stan settles into the driver's seat. It takes a couple tries to start, but the engine's chugging away, and by the time you've got your seatbelt on, the radio stammers to life as the engine does, spitting out generic-sounding rock music into the leather-scented air of the car's interior. After a moment spent adjusting mirrors and fiddling with knobs, Stan slats the gear shift into drive and pulls out of the Mystery Shack's lot and down the road to town. The radio's on, and Stan taps his fingers on the steering wheel to the beat of the music while he drives.
So I take it we're not making a quick trip for milk and eggs.
He laughs and glances over at you.
Nope.
Then where are we going?
First stop is to see a buddy of mine, a hunter. I get all my taxidermy supplies from him.
So that's where you get your parts from.
Yeah?
Oh, I just figured you got them from a local farm or something.
And do business with those hippies? Not a chance.
Well, I really enjoyed making that showpiece with you the other day. I had no idea you were so creative.
He glances over at you with poorly hidden surprise, turning almost immediately back to the road and shrugging.
It's just gluing stuff together, really.
Middle?
Yeah, I guess.
You have a real gift for it.
He turns to you again, and cheeks go a little pink when he sees the smile you're giving him. Oh, what's our favorite episode of Gravity Falls?
Oh, God. Summer Ween is probably one of my favorites. I love that one. But I also do the finale, though. That two-parter.
The finale specifically because of the scene where it changes styles.
It's amazing.
It's pretty good.
I do love the finale. It's one of the best finales I've seen for a show. The fact that I was so satisfied by the end and it tied up everything nicely just in the show itself, so you didn't feel like you had any loose ends.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your favorite?
Well, thanks.
After a moment, he faces the road again, but now he's tapping out the rhythm of the song with a little more enthusiasm and even humming the chorus as he drives.
Yeah, the finale was really amazing. Do you have any other hobbies?
He rolls his shoulder back with a shrug, his head tilting it off a bit towards the window.
These days I spend most of the time out on the boat with Ford, hunting monsters, discovering things.
He pauses, watching the road without expression.
I used to box.
Oh.
Oh, it shows.
He looks at you again, grinning.
That's amazing. I wish I had grown up doing something like that.
I wouldn't mind showing you a few things if you wanted.
Yeah, I bet you wouldn't.
Ooh.
Yeah.
After about 20 minutes of rural scenery, Stan pulls off the road and onto a long gravel driveway that disappears into the woods.
Is this the place?
Stan nods and rounds a turn to reveal a clearing populated by a trailer home and a couple sheds. The trailer's a bit run down and shabby, and one of the sheds looks like it's about one strong sneeze from collapsing. Not really the place you'd want to be at night, while alone with a guy you practically just met.
Be honest. Did you bring me here to murder me?
Stan laughs, cutting the engine and resting his arm on the back of the front seat.
Unfortunately, I figured it out. You figured it out, so now I definitely gotta kill you. I'm kidding. Relax.
He moves to get out of the car, and then returns back with a creamy, blank expression on his face. Oh no.
Oh, did you wipe your eyes?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Totally.
Your makeup is rubbing.
Oh no. Okay.
You're not used to it.
I'm not. He moves to get out of the car, then turns back with a creepy blank expression on his face.
Or am I?
You chuckle nervously and then he laughs again, pushing the door open.
Seriously, I'm kidding. I won't be long.
At the door to the trailer, Stan knocks and the door opens on a dark interior before he walks inside. The door shuts behind him. I have makeup on because we are doing something for Extra Life currently where if somebody donates $25 or more, she will put a layer of makeup on me for my suffering.
Yep. We have 4 layers on right now.
I think something like
5.
that.
I'm sorry. We have 5 layers on right now.
Yeah. If you would like to get more on me, feel free to donate, and we could get another one on. There's links in the description and all that. Okay, where are we? Door shuts behind him. You give the yard a few curious glances before realizing that the weird pile of sticks you've been looking at is actually bones. You quickly pull out your phone to look at it instead. 10 minutes later, and stands back, carrying a large cardboard box in both hands. You see him fumble with the handle at the rear left door for a moment before you reach back over the seat and pop it open for him. A peek inside the box reveals a few various shades of furry somethings and an animal skull you don't recognize. This doesn't seem like something worth busting out all of your darkest studs for.
We aren't by any chance robbing a bank, are we? Because I would have brought gloves.
Stan laughs.
No, nothing like that.
He starts the car up again, and you're back on the road.
Somehow I'm not quite convinced.
Well, who knows where the night's gonna take us? Could be legal, could be not. That a problem?
Ooh.
That's a good one. He'd appreciate that.
Ha, you're right, kid.
Stan takes the highway. The final minutes of the sunset's burnt orange and purple ahead of you, while the welcome sign for Gravity Falls disappears into the rearview mirror. We're leaving Gravity Falls.
Huh.
A new song comes on the radio, something bright and bouncy with lyrics about love, and his fingers get back to tapping. In the retreating light, you can see faded patches on the rim of the steering wheel, the color worn away from decades worth of his touch. The passenger seat you're sit in hasn't yet taken the shape of someone specific. Even after all this time, the springs still feel brand new. Meanwhile, the driver's side of the car stands settled easily into a seat, which fits him as well as a finely tailored jacket. You tuck your leg up under its mate, leaning back into the dark leather of the DeVille's interior, and watch cars pass and recede out the windshield. After a few minutes of music-backed silence, you feel like breaking it. Ooh.
Ask about him?
I guess, yeah.
You from Oregon originally?
Nah, I'm from out east, Jersey, a little town called Glass Shard Beach.
Ah, yes. Name your town after something dangerous. That'll bring tourists in.
You'd be surprised.
What's it like?
He shrugs.
Well, why move out here?
That's a long story.
His voice is quiet, and he watches the road ahead with intense focus, but the expression doesn't last long before he brightens and smiles over at you.
You don't want to hear it anyways.
Ask about the car.
Yeah.
Oh, the Stanmobile here?
Stan pats the dashboard affectionately, running his hand over the leather interior.
I've had her since high school. Nice ride, ain't she?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Nope, they sure don't.
Oh,
And my phone,
Dropped your phone?
yeah, is falling.
oh no. A
Alright.
joke. Oh.
Hmm. I don't know.
Is it bad that we're saving there?
Try the chicken coop?
Yeah, why not? Stan glances over at you, double checking that this is the setup to a joke.
I don't know, why?
Because if they had 4 doors, they'd be chicken sedans.
My god. Stan laughs.
Ha, that's pretty good.
He thinks for a minute, presumably to come up with a joke of his own.
Alright, a blonde walks into a bank in New York City.
Oh no, this isn't going to be one of those awful blondes are dumb jokes, is it?
He levels a withering look on you.
Can I tell the joke?
I don't know, can you?
You grin with your lower lip caught between your teeth, clearly joking, and he chuckles.
Anyways, blonde walks into the bank in New York. She goes up to the bank manager and she says, I'd like to take out a loan for $5,000. I'm taking on vacation overseas.
The car passes you on the highway, going 20 over the speed limit, and Stan swears and then stifles it.
Yeesh, night drivers. So the bank manager goes, well, miss, do you have collateral? We'd need collateral for that kind of loan. And she nods and says she does, and she takes the bank manager out to the parking lot where she's got a $50,000 Ferrari waiting, and she says, this is my car, you can hold on to it until I pay back my loan.
Stan continues, glancing over at you and trying to suppress a smile.
The bank manager is confused, but he figures if this lady doesn't pay, she's going to have a nice new Ferrari in his garage, so he agrees.
Sign for an exit ahead points off to the right. Text reading Country Road 328, and Stan takes it off the highway.
So he gives the blonde her 5 G's, and she hands him the keys to the car. She heads off to Europe. A month later, she shows back up at the bank with the 5 G's and the interest for the loan, which figures out to be about $15.
Stan continues, turning down an unlit gravel road, the headlights casting spooky shadows through the trees.
The bank manager takes the repayment for the loan and the interest and has one of his employees bring the car in front of the bank for the blonde.
Out ahead on the road, a deer turns its face to the car.
I know the punchline to this one.
Leaps across the road to disappear into the woods.
Just before she leaves, the bank manager stops the blonde and says, lady, I'm real confused here. You're clearly loaded enough to afford this car, and you paid back the loan and then some. Why take out a loan if you're so rich?
And the lady turns to him, runs a hand through her hair, and says,
where else can I park my car in New York City for 2 weeks for only $15?
Jesus.
I know.
That's pretty good.
It's a good joke.
It's really
It's
good.
It is.
You burst into wild laughter, and he laughs along with you.
All right, I take it back. That was the best blonde joke I've ever heard in my life.
It's pretty good.
I love that joke. I think it's a good one.
Just as you finish speaking, Stan pulls off to the side of the road and the engine dies. As you step out of the car, the unearthly silence of the woods envelops the two of you. Out in the woods ahead, you see a single bright light.
Is this the place?
Just about.
You follow him back towards the trunk, which he opens quietly and slowly, frowning as it squeaks.
What are we doing here?
You, might not guess by looking at me, but I got a thing.
The two of you stare at each other for a moment,
Excuse me?
and he looks a little nervous.
For art.
Oh, middle.
Word that.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
He brightens, smiling in the dim haze of the trunk light.
Well, this jump up this hill here has one by this artist, Gustav Gloning. Snuck it from right out under me at an auction. I've been trying to buy it off him for years, but the jerk won't sell no matter how much I offer him. And trust me, you meet this guy, you know he's out of spite.
So we're stealing it.
You got it, kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess that's probably the best.
Stan laughs quietly, fishing around the duffel bag for you don't know what.
Wait till you see it. It's a masterpiece. I've been waiting 6 months for him to go out of town. Here, take these.
He pulls a pair of gloves from the bag, handing them to you. When you slide them on, they fit almost perfectly.
I guess your size right?
You nod, wiggling your fingers. Stan chuckles, pulling a pair of his own, a set of black leather driving gloves with silver snap enclosures that glint in the light from the trunk.
You ready, kid?
You bet.
Stan tucks a few things into the inner pockets of his jacket that you can't see in the low light, and with the trunk shut just as quietly as you opened, you follow him up the woods towards the distant light. As you near it, a porch takes shape within the light's glow. Behind it, the dark shape of a house sits in the even darker woods. Stan leads you past the front porch and around the corner of the house to a set of stairs that appears to lead into a basement.
Ah, this is my favorite part.
He withdraws a small black shape from his pocket and something that looks like it might be a pen. The pen-shaped thing turns out to be a small flashlight, and he holds it in his teeth as he opens the black case to reveal a set of lock-picking tools.
You're a lucky person, kid. You get to see the artist in action.
He gets to work, inserting one tool in and wiggling it down the bottom of the keyhole, and then pulling out another and poking at the innards of the lock with it. You glance around the darkness as he works, half expecting to get caught before you finish anywhere, but then the lock clicks and Stan stands, opening the door for you with a flourish.
That was so cool.
Yep. He beams with pride, and you smile politely as you step through the door in front of him. The basement is unlit. It smells like dust and mildew, the air sour with wet dirt and mold. Stan moves past you into the dark, his little pen flashlight still lit, and he leads you through a cobwebby laundry room and towards a door across the bottom of a set of rickety wooden stairs.
Wait till you see this, kid.
He picks the lock on the door just as quickly as he picked the last, and the door creaks open into a dark room with an odd flooring barely lit by Stan's flashlight. Stan goes first. As you follow him in, he hits a light switch, revealing a beautifully designed gallery with plush scarlet carpets and gleaming wood paneling full of paintings of sad clowns. Stan looks more excited than you've seen him, his arms crossed over his chest and a warm smile on his face.
Can you believe that hillbilly chump has a collection like this?
You shake your head slowly, still looking around
It's a
the
deal
room with
breaker
wide
right there.
eyes, right?
Someday all these are gonna be mine. Come on, I'll show you the one we're here to get.
Oh God.
You follow him to the back of the room, and he stops in front of a large painting of a clown with bright red lips and blue circles on his cheeks, his eyes outlined in black with comical large eyelashes painted onto his eyelids. His neck ruff droops sadly, and his costume is dingy and worn.
What do you think?
The top is the line from the show.
I hate it, but
Do it.
yeah.
You really like this kind of thing? No kidding?
Stan's voice is
Oh
edged
God. They're all beautifully done.
with hope. Oh no.
It's nice to meet somebody who really appreciates these like I do.
Oh God. I don't know what the best choice is. Sorry, I'm trying to get my water.
It's excellent, especially as an art piece, or it's just plain excellent. I guess especially as an art piece? Because he really likes art too.
Yeah. Well, why not? This is a masterpiece. The way the artist has captured his pain, the way the framing makes him look small and pitiful even though he takes up most of the canvas. The juxtaposition of the inherent joy of clowning and the anguish this man clearly feels is what makes this kind of painting really special.
I don't know if that was the... Well, let's get this thing off the wall and out of here.
We got nothing from that. As he works to get the clowning down off the wall,
Yeah.
you wonder the room...
I
you
knew
wonder
that's where it
the
was
room
gonna go. When
looking
he
at the
said
other
the
paintings.
clowning painting, I'm like, oh no.
As you look over a portrait of a mime with dirt on his white and black striped shirt, you suddenly grabbed by your shoulders. Boo?
I don't know who this is supposed to be, so... Ah!
You scream, eyes shut in fear as you throw a weak karate chop at the source of the noise, making unimpressive contact with something solid and muscular. After a moment's panic, you squeeze whatever the thing is
Oh,
with your hands and
no.
open your eyes, finding
Huh? Was that supposed to hurt me?
Oh no.
Stan's arm and shoulder.
Squeeze.
Squeeze is muscular.
Yeah.
Boy, he's really packing some heat in there.
We've seen him in
Wow.
various states of undress in the
He's
show.
not.
No, he's not. I would believe Ford was. Ford seems to be built, but
I don't know about that either. He laughs, apparently very pleased with himself for scaring the absolute life out of you.
You need those boxing tips even more than I thought. You couldn't defend yourself from a fly with moves like that.
You laugh shakily, and then you realize you're still feeling up Stan's arm.
sorry about that.
No, you're not. You pull your hands away a bit too fast, and he chuckles, blushing all the way up to his ears.
No problem, kid.
He clears his throat, and the silence between you begins to grow awkward before it's interrupted. Upstairs, in what was supposed to be an empty house, you hear footsteps crossing towards the door to the basement. Stan apparently hears them too, a sudden series of expressions crossing his face from shock to confusion
Oh
to
god,
terror,
is this old man McGuckets?
and finally setting on indignation. He quickly takes you by the arm, whispering harshly in your ear as he drags you towards the entrance of the clown room.
As soon as he comes in here, shut the door and I'll shove these boxes in front.
You nod, just as a line of light from the top of the stairs blooms into a wide swath. You and Stan duck behind a wall near the door to the freedom, one corner of the stolen painting poking you uncomfortably in the ribs.
I don't know who it is.
Who's down now? I don't know. Slippered feet come down the wooden steps ahead of you, and their owner notices the light on. He holds something long and gun-shaped out in front of himself. Pines, if that's you, I swear to God, I'm gonna shoot you this time. Gun-shaped? Gun-shaped? Gun? Gun! Stan nudges you, jabbing a thumb towards the door leading outside, and jerks his head towards it. You take a step out from behind the wall, take Stan's hand in your own, and pull him into a jog and then a run. The two of you scrambling up the concrete steps out into the cool night air as a voice shouts, wares behind you. Stan kicks the door shut on his way out, and there's a startled yelp behind you as he makes contact with the owner of the house. There's more swearing, but you lose it behind you as you run, flashlight in one hand and Stan's hand in the other. And when you reach the tree line, you part and maneuver your way through the bushes and brambles, Stan crashing through them behind you. As you run, a deafening gunshot goes off behind you, and you realize you're being chased.
Holy smokes, run for it, Jackpot!
The noises get closer, close enough that you can hear your pursuer swearing continuing loudly. You slow up, but flashing your light behind you and raising the beam to find the distinct but visibly enraged face of a man with a rifle in his hands. Acting on pure instinct, you fling the flashlight in the direction of the angry man and take off running again.
Oh my God.
After a moment, the man cries out, the sounds of pursuit fade, and with one final cry. Damn you, Pinch!
I wonder who that was.
I don't know. Stan cackles.
Sounds like you hit him.
You reach the Stanmobile first, sliding into the passenger seat as Stan slips his new clowning into the back seat before joining you in front. Both of you panting and huffing. Stan hurriedly starts the engine and pulls off.
My God.
At the next driveway, he does the fastest three-point turn you've ever seen in your life, and then peels off down the gravel road and screeches out onto a highway. Stan's quiet for a second before letting loose into wild, triumphant laughter.
I thought he was gonna catch me that time for sure.
Did him in?
Oh, I wonder if it's Lil Gideon's dad.
Maybe.
Because he had the original clown picture that Stan stole.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Did a man just shoot at us?
Stan nods, still chuckling and apparently pretty pleased he didn't get hit. He lets out a long, loud sigh. His white-knuckled hands at 10 and 2 on the steering wheel. No, they're not. One's on the door.
That was... Holy moly, you okay, Jackpot?
I
I
think
guess.
one's pretty safe.
Yeah. He pulls back onto the highway, back in the direction you came from, and you lapse into comfortable silence. After a while, he starts humming along with the radio, and knowing the song this time, you hum along with him. Gravity Falls welcome sign passes you by again, but the route Stan's taking doesn't seem to lead back to the shack. Instead, you come to a stop outside the rows and rows of used cars, a car dealership.
No, this is where Lil Gideon's dad works.
Right, where it works, but not his house.
So
Stan slides out of the car, withdrawing something from the pocket with the breast of his jacket. Once you get out and around to the front bumper, you can see that it's a cigar.
You mind if I smoke?
I guess no,
Go
go ahead.
Thanks. I don't like smoking around the kids, you know? I'm already a bad enough influence.
He chuckles and withdraws a pack of matches his pocket. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just a typo.
And his face is bathed in the light of the flame. But from your place a ways down the road, Stan surveys the lot, eyes sweeping back and forth until they land on what looks to be a fuse box under the dark overhang of the roof on the far side of the dealership.
What are we getting?
New drive belt, some spark plugs, a couple of other things I can't remember the name of, and aren't worth explaining.
It won't take all night though, right?
He shakes his head, taking a long drag from the cigar, smoke rolling off his lips and into the night. You lean back against the front bumper of the car next to him and stuff your hands in your pockets. There isn't much light pollution around here, so the stars are bright and numerous above. Provided your car gets fixed up, this might not turn out to be such a bad trip. You take a deep breath in through your nose, the smell of sweet, heady cigar smoke and crisp night air filling your lungs.
So, how are we doing this?
We gotta get rid of the lights. I doubt Bud's clever enough to have night vision cameras.
He laughs a little as he speaks, smoke blowing out into the night with each individual laugh.
But we cut power to the whole place and the cameras are gonna be gone anyways. So we cut the power, find a car and say make and model is yours, and I dig out the parts your car needs. An hour, maybe maybe an hour and a half tops.
I can get the lights.
Stan turns his head and looks at you, waving away a fresh cloud of smoke as he accidentally exhales in your direction.
You sure?
It's tough. Shit.
We gotta confidence, right? Or
Yeah.
The two of you stand there in silence for a few more minutes before he bends down and grinds his cigar cold on the asphalt, straighten out with a groan and a huff of quiet laughter. You know what? Should have saved before that. Oh well.
Yeesh, starting to remember why I quit doing this kind of thing. Sure you're alright with this kid? You know, robbing the place?
You don't think I can do it?
No, it's not it. You've been keeping up with me just fine all night. You just don't seem like you have a lot of experience here.
I don't know.
I think the first one.
Okay.
He smiles, a warm and genuine expression that ignites something fuzzy and soft inside you. You didn't notice you're staring until he turns away and moves. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Turns towards the trunk. He reaches into the car and pulls a lever under the driver's side of the front seat, and the trunk pops open. You follow him to it, and after rummaging around the contents for a minute, he brings out a pair of pliers.
All right, you go over and take care of the lights. I got a few things to get together.
Oh, okay, we're just cutting the power. That's easy.
Yeah.
You crouch down behind the fence when you reach the lot, scrambling along in the shadows until you reach the dealership's main building. With a peek over the edge, you see that the wall of the building is cast in shadow from a poorly placed streetlight. Another peek and you spot a car, same make as yours, off to the back of the lot near a sign that says Discount Section, Big Deals. It takes an embarrassing amount of effort to get over the fence, but you manage it and press yourself flat against the wall, inching towards the fuse box. It's locked, but you pry it open with the pliers and look over what's inside. A bunch of switches, some wires. I mean,
Yeah.
not the most elegant job, and you realize after you're done it that you're glad you're still wearing those gloves Stan gave you from earlier in case what you did was dangerous. The lights, however, remain unchanged. Really?
Biggest switch?
Yeah. There we go.
Alright.
With your face pinched in concentration, you push the biggest switch in the opposite direction, and the entire property goes dark. You slip the tools into your back pocket and take a look around just to make sure the power's out. With a satisfied nod, you feel your way out into the parking lot, knocking your shins on 3 separate cars before you figure out you should probably just stop and wait for Stan.
Where you at, kid?
His voice isn't far away, but he isn't close either. You feel your way around an SUV, then a sedan. The gravel in the parking lot crunches under your feet, and you reflexively stare down the ground ahead of you as your eyes slowly adjust to the darkness. Out ahead of you, a flashlight turns on and scans the lot until it finds you.
Found you.
He sounds amused, probably at the way you're standing with your arms spread wide over a sleek modern sports car.
Getting familiar with the merchandise, yeah?
You give the car an awkward pat and make your way towards the beginning of the flashlight's beam.
You see anything the same make as yours before you shut the lights off?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, there's one back in the discount section.
It's kind of insulting now that you think about it, actually.
Sorry, I'm trying to shift where I'm sitting
I know, right? It's like you gotta get comfy.
without hitting anything because it's a tight spot here.
He hands you the flashlight when you reach him, and you slowly start back towards the discount cars. Discount. Your car it's a classic. It's usually extremely reliable. To be perfectly honest, it's not even your fault that it's in the state that it's in. It was Ford and his whatever it is. Your deep and salty thoughts when hands suddenly grip your ribs on either side.
Gotcha.
Ah!
You scream and throw back an elbow at whatever's got a hold of you, and you hear Stan yelp and falling clatter of kick, gravel, and metal clanking together. He scared you again.
Oh wow, I really got you.
Holy smokes, kid.
You turn the flashlight, and where you heard
Oh
him fall,
no.
you find him with a hand cupped over his face, blood dribbling out from between his gloved fingers.
Yeah, I deserve that one.
Oh shit, I'm really sorry.
Nah, I'll be alright. Just help me up.
You tuck the still lit flashlight into your back pocket for a moment, reaching down and finding his hands in the dark to pull him up. Once he's on his feet, you retrieve the flashlight from your pocket. As you bring the beam to Stan's face, you find him holding a handkerchief over his nose and squinting. He's apparently brought a backpack with him, and it's sitting on the ground behind him, where he presumably dropped it where you elbowed him.
You know, that was a really solid hit. You got a lot of power in there. I don't know if you were just saying it to be nice earlier, but I could show you some moves, teach you how to direct that strength.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
He removes his hanky from his nose for a moment, gently prodding at the bridge of your nose with the finger and frowns.
Well, it's not broken, that's for sure.
That's good.
He laughs quietly, taking a clean corner of the handkerchief and dabbing at his nose with it, grimacing and sniffling hard when it comes back still clean.
Good to go.
Are you sure you're alright?
Yeah, of course. I've gotten worse beatings than that, believe me.
His face is flushed from sudden injury, but he does look otherwise okay. You sigh and plant your hands on your hips.
Then let's finish this.
He reaches out towards you, then catches a glimpse of blood and reconsiders, wiping his gloves as clean as he can with the hanky. When you reach the car you spotted earlier, he pops the hood and drops his pack on the ground next to the bumper, unzipping it to reveal a jumble of various wrenches and tools.
Alright, hold the flashlight steady on the engine and keep an eye out.
I think we need to keep lookout.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because I don't want to I don't want to ruin any of this.
That's true. Doesn't take long for him to get what he needs for your car, shutting the hood and setting his pack on it as he stuffs parts into it.
That was quick.
Now, the parts you need are easy to find. It just takes the right.
Oh.
Hey, what's going on over there? That you, bud?
The cops.
The beam of flashlight finds you both, and Stan turns around quickly, leaving the bag behind himself on the hood.
Yeah?
Pines, what the heck happened to your face? What are you doing here at... Hey, are you stealing parts again?
No.
Stan inches closer to you until your shoulders touch, and behind you he pushes the bag into your hands before lowering his voice to speak to you.
Run for it. Keep the bag out of sight and toss it in some bushes nearby. I'll get it later.
You nod, picking up the bag and holding it behind yourself. Flashlight by the road moves closer, and you slowly scoot away from the car and backwards. Hey, you, where are you going? You move backwards a little faster, still keeping the bag out of sight. And when the light leaves you to check on Stan, you make a break for it towards the back fence, throwing the bag over it ahead of you. A new voice nearby speaks, and you yelp.
Hey, where are you going, burglar? You're under arrest for burglary. Remember the
Oh, that's
the cops?
right. Okay. So the other one's like a deep
Yeah.
voice, isn't it? Okay. There's a shot from Stan behind you, and then a heavy thud. One of the car alarms starts squealing. You're so surprised by the alarm that the second cop gets his hands around your wrists and slap a pair of handcuffs on you.
You better quit your squirming there, buddy. We caught you fair and square.
Now, come on, Blubs. I saved the town from an interdimensional demon. Give me a break.
This is you.
Sorry, Stan. We got a job to do. That's close as I can do.
It's tough to do his voice.
Stan grumbles quietly, and the man behind you leads you towards the road behind Stan and Blubs, who's now got him in cuffs. You need to get out of this, but how?
I think the second one, maybe? I don't know. I don't want to shoot anyone.
Yeah, I don't want to shoot. I guess go.
I think
yeah.
go for that.
Close the space between you and the cop behind you. Once that something moves between your fingers and you grab it, bringing it back. You're not sure what it is, but it feels like it's cold and metal, so you slip it in your back pocket.
It's you.
Ah, shoot, Derlin. We don't have the cruiser. Me and my idea for romantic strolls in the moonlight.
Well, why don't we just commandeer Stan's car? Oh,
No,
yeah,
it's
it
a
was Commander.
Do you mean commandeer?
I don't know.
Edwin Derlin, you're an absolute delight, and I cherish having you as my life partner. Derlin giggles behind you, and Blubs giggles with him. The two of them push you and Stan into the back seat of the car, crowding you in with the clowning. Stan grips it protectively, muttering under his breath about the fuzz. He's quiet for the most of the ride, only speaking up once.
You okay, Jackpot?
I think one.
Yeah. He falls silent after you respond, and stays that way all the way back to the station. Inside the station, Derlin leads you to a pair of chairs and by a desk, and Blubs disappears down a hallway. Blubs is back after a few minutes, a deep frown set into his face, and after directing his frown at Derlin, he takes you and Stan down another hallway to a set of cells. At the first, he withdraws a set of keys and opens the door. You and Stan are uncuffed, and with a solid and somewhat alarming clang, the cell door shuts and locks. You two better get comfortable. We got your prints in the morning. We'll get your prints in the morning. He's okay. Stan grumbles, settling down onto one of the provided bunk beds, and you sit down on the one next to it, facing him. He peels off his gloves, tucking them inside out into his pockets and fiddling with a loose thread on the thin wool blanket on the bunk bed. Through the door at the end of the hallway, you hear Derlin say something about fancy black finger paints to Blubs. Here in the bright fluorescent lights, you can see that he still has a bit of blood smeared under his nose and on his chin, and you feel a flush of embarrassment when you remember that you're the one who did that to him. This one?
Either that or the second. But this is tough.
Yeah, I guess.
How are we gonna get out of here?
Stan shrugs, crossing his arms over his chest and flopping back onto the mattress.
Don't think we can, kid. Let's see if I can convince them that you got hypnotized or something into coming along with me. Keep you out of trouble.
Listen, if you're going down for this, then so am I.
He laughs quietly, propping himself up on his elbows.
Oh. Alright.
Well, you have to get something.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what the next... I know what the next one is.
You know what the next one is?
Yeah.
Alright. She's gonna go get the makeup. It's happening. Okay, back to the game.
You don't want to get in trouble with the law, kid. Trust me, this ain't my first time spending the night in jail. Not by a long shot.
Sounds rough.
Yeah, well, so it goes. This won't be so bad
Thank
compared
you.
to 5 years in a Colombian prison.
He does look beautiful. Thank
Oh,
you.
no.
Amazing job on that.
Oh, Lord. There's a story behind that, but he doesn't look like he wants to tell me it at the moment.
Anyway, the only way we're getting out of here is with the keys. Then we could just slip out a window or something.
You think for a moment, stuffing your hands in your pockets, and suddenly remember the thing you grabbed off the second cop, Durland. Oh, wait. You jump to your feet and dig into your back pocket, withdrawing the small metal thing you stole, and find that it's a set of car keys on a plastic keepsake photo fob. Stan's not looking, staring down at the floor of the cell instead, but you think you know what to do with these. You go up to the bars of the cell, looking for Durland.
Hey, can you hear me out there? You dropped your car keys.
The faint discussion in the other room stops, and a moment later, Durland comes into view.
Where'd you get my keepsake key fob? I've been looking for that.
You hold it through the bars with both hands. As he reaches for his key fob, you reach out to his belt with your right hand and unclip the ring of keys from his belt. He doesn't notice. Durland thanks you for returning his key fob and gives both of you and Stan a scrutinizing stare before heading back down the hallway and through the door. You hold the keys out in front of yourself and jingle them triumphantly.
Look what I got off Durland.
Stan stares at your hand in disbelief, then at you, then at the keys, and then back at you again before laughing incredulously. Well, thank you for doing it.
Appreciate you.
The kids definitely appreciate it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of it's going straight to Extra Life and to my misery and suffering.
It's suffering for a good cause.
It is suffering for a good cause.
It's so weird to see you in the...
in the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the makeup.
Yeah, trust me. It's weird for me, too.
You're beautiful.
Stan stares at your hand in disbelief, and then at you, and then at the keys, and then back at you again before laughing incredulously.
Are you sure you don't have experience with this kind of thing?
Stan takes the keys from you, looking over them in his palm. He smiles up at you, and then looks down at the keys and covers his mouth with his hand, dragging it down over his chin.
I can't believe I've been shown up by a tourist.
Well, get used to it, buddy, because I've got skills.
Open a Tinder. A Tinder account? Do you mean Tinder?
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
No, that's just your OnlyFans.
My OnlyFans, yeah. Subscribe now. I keep looking at my teeth.
You're fine.
I know, but it feels like it keeps going on it.
I didn't even go on the inner part of your lip.
Do you do that?
Sometimes so that you go farther.
Oh,
So that way, you don't see normal parts of the lip.
I
So.
see. He looks proud, smiling up at you like you just handed him $1 million.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get the heck out of here.
He stands as you reach through the bars and tries keys until one works. The door swings open with a quiet creak, and you creep out down the hallway to the door. You open it a crack, looking out into the lobby, and you see Blubs asleep at the front desk, Durland not in sight. Slowly, you pull open the door and move into the lobby. Stan taps your shoulders and whispers low.
I gotta get my keys. You see them anywhere?
You glance around and spot them next to where Blubs is asleep, drool pulling on the table. Shoot. Crossing your fingers for luck, you sneak over to the desk and reach down to grab them when suddenly Blubs stirs and mumbles.
Dang, Bigfoot.
Steal my shoes. Stretching on my shoes. Stan snorts behind you and you manage to suppress a laugh as you pluck the keys away.
Wait, hold on.
Stan disappears into another room and you're stunned, wondering what the hell could be doing right now. That's more
It's the
important than
painting,
escaping.
right? It's got to be the painting.
Mm-hmm. Before you have the chance to call something you might regret later, he reappears in the doorway with a troublesome clown painting under his arm.
Seriously?
Duh. Alright, let's roll.
Slipping out with the keys, only a click of the station door closed behind you. You and Stan climb into his car and escape into the night. After stopping by Blood's dealership to pick up the hidden backpack, you and your partner in crime head back to the shack in comfortable silence. You feel tired as if it weren't for the adrenaline. You carry the backpack inside while Stan brings in the clowning and the briefcase, setting both on the kitchen table. Oh, thanks. Friday.
I'd call that a successful night.
Even though we got arrested, so would I. And fun too.
You grin over at him and realize in the bright kitchen light that he's still got blood on his face. How do you keep forgetting? You're the one who elbowed him, after all.
You've got... Well, come here.
You pull one of the chairs out from under the table, gesturing for him to sit down.
Okay. All right.
It looks a little wary, but obeys, the chair's ancient metal frame creaking under his weight. You grab a couple of paper towels, turning on the faucet in the sink and wetting them. Clean them up, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Mentally steadying yourself, you hold the side of his face and neck in your hand. With gentle pressure, you guide his head to tilt back until he's lit up fully by the overhead light. You can feel him blush under your hand, his skin heating up, and he seems too surprised to protest or even speak.
This is the Gravity Falls unofficial dating sim where you get to romance both of the grunkles.
Yep. As you wipe the now dried blood from his face. He's quiet while you work, watching you with warm brown eyes rimmed by dark lashes.
I'm not gonna lie, this is making me more uncomfy than I thought it would. And I love dating sims.
I could have taken care of this myself, you know.
He says this, but he hasn't pulled away or made any move to leave.
I did the damage. The least I could do is clean up after myself. Anyway, you've done plenty as it is.
The paper towels you have become too soiled to work with.
Even better, self-insert fanfiction. We're the main character.
It's true. This is another typo, right? The paper towels you have become too soiled to work with.
Yes, that's a typo.
So you toss them into the trash and go back to get a few more. Your hand returns to his cheek, and you could be imagining things, but it almost feels like he leans into it.
I really did have a good time with you tonight. I had no idea crime could be so fun.
He smirks, avoiding your gaze.
Yeah, speechless is the right way to be.
I had a good time too.
You pause for a moment, realizing something. Those cops aren't going to come after us, are they?
That's me.
Oh, no.
Those cops aren't going to come after us, are they?
Stan shrugs.
Probably not. They're nice enough guys, but not exactly competent.
You laugh quietly as he smirks up at you. You stand back to make sure you're finished and toss the paper towels into the trash.
You're sure it's not broken?
Nah, I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
Your hand lingers on his cheek. Ooh.
Oh, I think...
We got it going for the hug, right?
Okay, you think we're going to push it?
I'm going to push it.
Okay, push it.
You take a fortifying deep breath and lean down, wrapping your arms around him.
Thanks. For the car parts.
You pull away, and he's got a funny look on his face.
And for the good time. Well, good night.
Well, we are 13 and a half hours into a 25-hour stream for Extra Life, so...
We're a little over half. We're about halfway.
Yeah, we're an hour over halfway.
Ooh.
Yeah, because it would be 12 and a half hours is the halfway mark. So we're an hour over
I
half.
keep forgetting you have mascara on. It catches me by surprise.
Wait, hold on.
I love you. I'm not used to seeing you with makeup on, so... Well, good night.
He stares at you for a moment with that look on his face, then composes himself and gives you a goofy smile.
Sleep tight, jackpot.
See, we even have a name that is great for him.
Yeah, it's kind of great. Oh, that's what we should have. Oh, we have the beers downstairs if we want.
That's true. Do you want a beer?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I think you should just bring the 6-pack up.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Oh wait, how am I gonna drink it though? How do you drink with this on?
People drink with makeup on.
No, they don't. Let's see how much we got of this done. Because if it fills up like another like 16th, that's insane.
What do you mean?
Like, 'cause it
Oh,
shows
yeah,
us
yeah,
the
you're right.
love meter.
You're right.
You brush your teeth and change into your pajamas, and it's not until you get into bed that you realize you're still smiling. I'm going to save this. You look like a man probably needs some teeth and a cape. I want to suck your blood.
There's a lot of sparkle, and his eyes are the nice purple and red smoky right now, like smoky eye. Well, it was 12 hours ago because we got that pretty early.
Well, hey, we can reapply parts, I guess, if people donate more.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get to that point.
Yeah. Yes, you brush your teeth and change into your pajamas, and it's not until you get into bed that you realize you're still smiling. The rush from it all hasn't completely faded, but after a while, your eyes grow heavy and you drift off to sleep. Nobody back home is ever going to believe this. All right, how much is that? Oh my god.
All right, I don't know if we can do the whole thing tonight.
I mean, it's been 2 hours for that much? How long is this dating sim?
I'm trying to find that out.
That's insane. 2 hours for what? A fifth of a bar? Is this a 10-hour game?
I'm trying to find. Here we go. Oh no! Every time I try to go to the walkthrough, it sends me to Tumblr, and then I can't open it because I gotta put it through the.
All right, hold on.
Yeah. No. Go to
I know. I'm just looking to see like. Wow. Yeah, this is hours and hours and hours.
I didn't know it was
long.
so long.
I mean, this person has a video of going through both routes perfectly, but
They probably went through quickly. All right, that's what you need. Hang on.
I'm looking at it real quick. So they're probably going. Oh.
Well, now we're seeing spoilers.
No, this is stuff we've missed though.
No, it's not. We haven't gotten to that yet.
Oh yeah.
See?
Oh yeah. Wow. So that's
there's
that far in.
Wow, so that's an hour just for his route.
Well, no. This
Oh,
is
is it both?
routes. So I'm guessing like halfway through. It's
Okay. Well, what do you want to do? Now I think you're in Ford's.
okay. So yeah, it's about a half hour. It looks like. For that, and we are currently at okay.
A little before that.
Yeah. So we're okay. So we're like roughly right here. His ends like here-ish.
Yeah.
That's how far we are.
Oh my God, this thing's long.
That's
Oh,
okay. So
have
that's
a
like
good
about
night.
a fourth. Have a good night. So 2 hours. I mean, do we want to keep doing this through the night? We said we'd do it. I'm
It's up to
fine
you.
with it, to be honest. If we just want to keep doing this.
I don't know
it's
if we
kinda
can
funny.
do both. I don't know if we can do both.
No,
routes,
we're
though.
not doing both. We're gonna finish one of them.
I think okay, we can finish stands.
Keep doing stand exclusively.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Do you want the beer?
Yes, we're going to need it. Let's get good and yeah. Okay, so we'll be right back. Hold on 1 second. We'll be right back. We are also getting ourselves something to drink. For a second by accident. Oh no. Oh, I hope it didn't like totally. Oh yeah, it totally restarted, didn't it? Aww. Oops. Well, didn't miss anything. All right. It's extra life and makeup and all that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh man, there's so much more. Someone thumps their fist on the storage room. Yeah, the Grunkle Stam voice is really.
Someone thumps their jackpot! I need your help! It's at that moment that you look down to see Waddles swaddled in her arms, wearing a top hat and a small bow tie.
I do like the fact that you have brothers Bond whiskey.
Yeah, that's great. Why is Waddles so dapper? He does look pretty dashing, doesn't he? Wait, we're not here to dish out compliments. There's an emergency. A love emergency.
Love emergency. Oh wait, I forgot to turn your mic back on. Oh, there we go.
What?
It still picked up on mine a little bit.
What?
I forgot. Well, because it's not set on the thing there.
Uh-huh.
I love emergency.
Mabel stares up at you with wide eyes, her little arms unmoving as Waddles attempts to wriggle free from her grasp. This kid's stronger than she looks. Knowing Mabel, this could mean she has a new crush. From what Dipper's told you, she's still deeply rooted in her boy crazy phase. Or she desperately wants to wed Waddles to some unsuspecting critter outside.
Oh no.
To be fair, it's actually canon that Waddles and Gompers have children. Because you see a weird...
Wait, what was Gompers again?
He's the goat.
Oh,
No, but you
right.
see these weird, like, goat pig creatures in another TV show on
Really?
Disney? Yeah. Waddles and... it's kind of like a joke.
It's
They're
a-
not
yeah,
actually...
it's a joke, yeah.
It's just a reference.
Mhm.
Because it's like one of Alex's... It's either his girlfriend's show or the...
Oh, okay.
Or, like, one of the other ones that he's a part of with his friends. Waddles and Gompers are renewing their vows today, and I can't find Gompers to put his gown on. You've got to help me find him. You weren't actually expecting your second guess to be right. Okay, wait. Mabel, just calm down for a second. But we have to find Gompers! The ceremony's in 20 minutes! Waddles wriggles himself free and runs down the hallway to freedom, ignoring Mabel's shriek of protest as she chases him. You're compelled to go back to bed, deciding this is almost definitely a dream, but jog after Mabel regardless.
Wait, I'm just making sure. Oh, okay. It's just letting me know then. Okay. Okay.
You catch sight of Mabel just as she leaps over Dipper, who's sitting on the floor with a large array of graph paper and chewed pencils. She runs to the back door, suspiciously open, after Waddle's snorting self, yelling at him not to lose his tie.
What, Mabel, what's going on?
Waddle's wedding Gompers? You're a little out of breath. Mabel's fast. Dipper smacks a hand to his forehead, dragging it down his face dramatically.
Of course, she told me they're renewing vows or something. They got married last summer, but she misses the pizzazz of weddings.
Dipper looks nonplussed, but you can tell he's at least a little invested.
Are you gonna help her with whatever that was?
The second one.
Right, because we gotta
get in
yeah,
good with
yeah.
Mabel. And with that, you run past him, Dipper stutters of surprise growing fainter as you head outside. Mabel's already a ways away when you burst out in the shack's backyard. Fortunately, Stan and Ford are nowhere in sight. You're not sure what you'd think of them finding you searching for a goat bride, as Mabel calls out to lure Gompers home. Come on, Gompers! I already booked the second honeymoon, and the caterers are gonna be mad! Runaway brides are so cliche. She's seriously invested in this farm critter marriage. That, or she's watched way too many dramatic romance movies. Or both. Gompers? Come on, goat pal, where are you? You hear Dipper head towards Mabel to help her look, so you veer opposite, opting to cover more ground in search of the runaway goat bride. Alright.
Inside Stan's car.
Yeah. Despite the absence of both Stan and Ford, the former's cherry red car sits in front of the shack, gleaming in the summer sun. You head towards it and peer in the windows, cupping your hands around your eyes to see inside. There's a can of pit soda on the passenger seat, a badly hidden pack of cigars in the driver's side door pocket, and a magazine on the floor of the back seat. You squint at it and find it's emblazoned with the title, Fully Clothed Women. Interesting, and you hope Stan will clean that up before you go on another drive with him, but it's not a goat. Alright, let's look. Foundation. You think he's there?
That might be Ford.
Oh, okay, so on the roof then.
Yeah.
You walk backwards and put a hand to your brow, shielding your eyes from the sun as you search the scaffolding in the shack. Nothing.
Well, they're not.
You're not a. Well,
They're not the.
they're not the love interest, though.
Yeah, they're not the subject of
They're
the
still
dating.
they're still the great nephew and nieces.
Yeah, I mean, people exist.
Yeah, it's just Mabel eggs you on a little bit on it too, because even in the show she would do that.
Yeah.
Like when she tried to teach Stan how to be good for lazy Susan.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, the dating sim is for the older men.
And it also has not been inappropriate at all either.
No, surprisingly not.
It's been clean with the same type of humor that Gravity Falls had. So, like the fully clothed women.
the fully clothed. Yeah. All right.
Did I say all this?
I think so.
Okay. You continue, walking to the side now until rays of sunlight obscure the view above the sign for the gift shop.
Oh, whoops. Oh, I could go back.
Rather serendipitously, a cloud glides overhead to block the sun, and you're able to look higher, seeing the misspelled letters at the various wear and tear of the roof, and a small billy goat munching on parts of the weather vane.
So it
You were
was
right.
on the roof.
Yeah, you were right. Wait. Hey, Mabel. Yeah?
Oops.
Okay.
Just drop the mic.
You point up to the roof at Gompers. Here comes the bride. Mabel shrieks, "Gompers!" and sprints into the gift shop, slamming the door so hard the open sign flips to closed. There's silence for a moment. Then something flips open on the roof's small balcony, and Mabel pops out from underneath, climbing up onto the roof and attempting to coax Gompers down.
There's a ladder up to that little balcony thing inside the gift shop. It's pretty cool for fireworks.
Mabel pulls a sandwich from her sleeve, you can't help but imagine what else she has up there, and waves it in Gomper's direction, and he trots toward the balcony, hopping down to Mabel's level and snatching the sandwich from her hand. She grabs the goat and heads down the ladder into the gift shop. Oh, Gompers, you can't get the pre-wedding jitters anymore. You're already married. You can't get away that easily. Thanks a billion, Jackpot, you've saved the wedding.
That's terrifying.
And with that, Mabel gets to work on wrestling Gompers into his dress, yelling commands to Dipper to grab Waddles, who thankfully didn't get his bow tie dirty when he dashed away earlier, and get everything ready for the most important ceremony in the history of ever. Maybe an exaggeration, but Mabel's excitement is undoubtedly contagious. Okay, once Dip finds Waddles, I think we got everything ready. I am, of course, the Vicar, Caterer, Proud Mother musical guest combo. Dipper's gonna take pictures from my scrapbook.
Hey, I never agreed to that.
Dipper, please! I gotta officiate.
You mean officiate?
See, I'm so busy I can't even talk right. Please, Dipper, I'll help you with some nerd thing later, I pinky swear. Dipper contemplates this, hand at his chin, mirroring his Grunkle Ford, of course.
As long as you actually do this time, then yeah, I'll take pictures.
Mabel jumps up and down with excitement, jostling poor Gompers in her arms. Yay! Thank you, Dipper, I owe you one. This is what the best brother looks like right here, Jackpot.
Okay, you don't have to do that whole thing again. I'll get back to... Waddles, you get back here.
Okay, now we have that fixed. That means we have... Wait! Seuss left already! My ring bearer's gone! Oh no, what are we going to do, Gompers? Gompers gives the intelligent answer of bah, chewing on his bridal veil. I could ask them, but I don't know. Gompers chooses that moment to look into Mabel's eyes and bleat at her insistently. Mabel naturally takes this as a sign from Goat. You're right. Of course, this is your special day. Again. Mabel turns to you with pleading eyes. Hey, Jackpot, could you be the new ring bearer for the ceremony?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, of course. I'm very invested in this partnership, Mabel. I gotta see it through. Mabel beams, obviously very pleased that you're taking this as seriously as she is. Thank you, Jackpot. Let's get this show on the road, or this wedding on the backyard. It still works. Mabel runs back into the house, and you hear her thudding upstairs faster than a hungry Waddles. Gompers, thankfully, still occupied by half a sandwich Mabel taunted him with, stays put. She comes back down soon after with a fluffy purple pillow and 2 clear sticks. After snapping the sticks in half, glow sticks. They're glow sticks. She curls them into small bracelet-sized rings. These are so much more fun than rings. Plus, Waddles can put it on his tail to look super handsome. Waddles oinks in agreement. In his mad dash out the house, he's lost his top hat. Hold your hands out, palm up, and get down so you're not as tall. They can't put the rings on each other if you're way up there. She's got a point. You duck to your knees in the dirt and Mabel turns your hands palm up, reverently placing the pillow and the glow stick rings atop them.
Okay, Mabel, I'm here with the camera for Jackpot. Why are you on the ground?
You gesture to the happy couple with a wide arc of your arm. They needed a ring bearer.
Well, I guess they do.
Mabel nods, small hands on her hips. She looks over the wedding scene and mumbles to herself, checking things off a mental checklist. Okay, I think we have... Wait! I forgot the flower petals! I'll be right back. And she's gone again, leaving you alone with a pig groom, a goat bride, and 2 glow stick bands of matrimony. Goatrimony. That kinda works. You decide not to crack that pun on Dipper, who's examining his disposable camera. He pops the back open and sighs, smacking a hand to his forehead.
Hello.
Hi.
This one's on a film. Must have been the one Mabel used at Candy's party.
He looks up at you and shrugs.
I'll go get one of my spares. Make sure these two don't go anywhere or Mabel will, well, you know, Mabel.
You haven't known Mabel as long as Dipper has, but you understand immediately.
This is a fan game.
Yeah, this is a fan game, because this is a dating sim. With you can romance either of the Grunkles, so yeah, this is a fan game. You're left alone in the backyard with a groom's pig, a bride goat, 2 glow sticks, and a broken disposable camera. While you'd love to say you've absolutely been in this situation before, you unfortunately have not. I really am very happy for you both, Waddles and Gompers. Both animals turn to you, nonchalant to the current state of events. But I can't believe Mabel forgot the flower petals. Jeez! Just as you go to continue this one-sided conversation between human, goat, and pig, you hear 2 voices coming around the house. 2 very familiar voices.
Listen, Sixer, if you hadn't gone off about the wobbly junker,
The gobblewonker, Stanley! Has Dipper really never told you?
then you wouldn't have freaked out the kid at the store we needed, and we'd have, I don't know, stuff to fix my house after you got the car stuck in it.
It's still my house! And besides, if he were a fisherman, he'd need to know... Both Stan and Ford round the corner to find you sitting on your heels next to Waddles and Gompers, brandishing a pillow and glow sticks in the dirt. The 3 of you stare at each other in silence. Mabel needed a ring bearer for the wedding. It's at that moment that Mabel kicks down the back door, runs to your side, and throws rose petals atop your head. Ta-da! You blow a rose petal off the tip of your nose and grin at Mabel. I think our bride and groom are ready to renew their vows, don't you? Mabel nods emphatically at you before turning to her Grunkles, lighting up a 100-watt smile. Yes, Grunkle Stan, Grunkle Ford, you guys got back just in time! And just like that, Mabel pushes Stan and Ford towards you and tugs their hands so they sit across from you. Stan complains about his knees and Ford asks Dipper exactly why the pig and goat are betrothed. Fits with what you know about both at this point. Mabel makes way with the wedding and you sit cross-legged, the pillow and glow stick rings on your lap. Every so often, Mabel stifles a theatrical sob, wiping a very real tear from her eye before she turns to you for the rings. Oh, Mabel, how should the betrothed, wear their rings since they don't have ring fingers? Just put them on where you think they fit best.
Oh.
Okay. Horn and tail, right?
That's what I think, right?
Well, she already talked about the tail. She already talked about over his
Yeah.
tail to be handsome. You get up and promptly crouch down in front of Waddles and Gompers, playing your ring bearer part very seriously. A glow stick ring goes on to one of Gompers' horns, and you place the other on Waddles' rear, hanging off his curly-Q tail. I now pronounce you husband and husband. Again! You may now kiss the goat. Waddles sniffs at Gompers and snorts. That definitely counts. Dipper reappears with a new camera and Mabel throws more rose petals at him. A few get stuck to his fluffy hat and he rolls his eyes but retaliates by taking a very close-up picture, the flash temporarily blinding her. Hey, save the film for the newlyweds! I need plenty of pictures for my scrapbook.
You owe me a new camera for this, Mabel.
He sounds annoyed, but his fond sibling smile gives him away as he starts taking pictures of the happy couple, getting odd angles as Mabel pushes them into silly poses. You step away from the scene and go to head back into the house. Being a ring bearer is thirsty work, but Stan and Ford stop you before you make it to the door.
Hey, Jackpot. Thanks for playing along with Mabel with the whole wedding thing.
We're both glad you're willing to entertain her whenever we're gone.
She, didn't, make you do it, did she?
Oh, she didn't. She needed a ring bearer, so I stepped in to help. Stan and Ford arch matching brows at you. I'm very invested in the marriage of a goat and a pig, you know. The three of you laugh and Stan pats your shoulder. Ford gives you a warm smile. Well, I'm glad you're as into all that as she is. Thank you for that.
Yeah, kid. It's nice of you to be, nicer to her, you know.
Stan clears his throat, awkwardly rubbing the back of his neck.
Thanks for playing with Mabel and how her weird wedding thing. Looks like she likes you. It's not hard, but still.
He gives you a genuinely grateful smile that you easily return. It's no problem, really. I'm happy to keep her and Dipper happy where I can. Stan nods at you, pink in the cheeks, before going past and heading into the house. You swear you see Ford give him a funny look, but you could just be imagining it.
He did appreciate that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Jackpot! You're gonna miss the party! We got popsicles!
I call the red ones.
Pineapple ones are mine. I call dibs.
But the pineapple ones are the best ones! Mabel and Stan wrestle over a yellow popsicle while Dipper contentedly unwraps a red one, holding it above his head and out of Gomper's way. Ford gingerly picks out a purple ice pop and leaves the ice chest open for you to grab one as well.
Ooh.
While Stan and Mabel aren't looking, you hide the pineapple popsicles at the bottom of the chest. Dipper sees and starts laughing, but doesn't tell. They're a strange bunch, these two sets of pine twins, but they're certainly making your summer a lot more exciting as your stay at the Mystery Shack continues, your wreck of a car sitting outside in the heat of the setting sun.
Yeah, it's still not fixed at all.
Nope. It's another day of summer with nothing to do but wait.
Oh, did that count as a day?
I guess, but I don't think it counted as a... because we didn't spend time with Ford.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, not with Ford, with Stan. Your schedule's surprisingly clear today. Stan usually has something going on for you to help with, and if not, Ford, Seuss, or the kids do. Who do you want to find? Well, obviously
right?
Stan.
We're going that way.
That's our route this time. You pass through the living room, and Mabel spots you from her seat at the table. Jackpot, I was hoping I'd see you. Come on, I want to ask you something. Mabel points down the table with a raspberry pink colored pencil. Her art supplies, scattered across the table, lie across the various sheets of paper with brightly colored doodles and lots of glitter. You see a drawing that looks like a cross between Barney and Godzilla, a page full of puppies, and a page with a drawing that kind of looks like you with... Is that Ford or Stan? Mabel's not finished with it yet, but the telltale jawline gives it away. You sit down at the table across from Mabel and suddenly get the same feeling you'd get at a job interview. It's intensified when she pushes her organized chaos of papers aside and steeples her fingers over the table surface. Jackpot, I'll be frank. I've been trying to find a match for my grunkles for a while, but I never seem to get their matches made. Sorry, a match? But then, it's like you were pulled from thin air, attracted to the shack by a magnet of love. It was a sign, and this week just made the chemistry you share with him obvious. You know who I'm talking about, right?
You know, it's funny, like, you were like, bless you, you were like, maybe I should do the narrator so you could get a break, and now it's just been all you.
I've been playing all the parts. Well, you were Dipper, a little
That's
bit.
true, a little bit.
I'm okay, though. These voices aren't, they're not
the
as...
Stan voice that ruins my throat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right. Oh, there's
There's
one
one
option.
option.
I think because we didn't do anything with Ford,
Yeah.
so we don't have a...
so we're locking this in probably.
Yeah,
here.
probably. Exactly. Grunkle Stan says he's not looking for love anymore, but I think he says that after every rejection. He's a romantic deep down. I can feel it. And you know what they say, even if you're not looking for it, love will find you no matter what. Love? That's a jump to say the least. Well, you've certainly had enough time to form your opinion of Stan, and it's shifted and changed with every additional minute. He's got his fair share of mysteries, and damn it, you're curious. There's plenty of potential there. I can see it in your face. You know what would really get this chemistry going? Or talking to him? What? I don't know. I'm thinking of something more romantic. Hold on, I'm getting an idea. I'll get everything ready, Jackpot. You just focus on falling completely and utterly in love. Matchmaker Mabel is back in the game.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's gonna go well.
Mm-hmm.
Just as you exit the talk with Mabel, you run into Dipper right outside the living room, and it doesn't seem like an accident either. His arms are crossed and he's looking at you dubiously.
So I heard about Mabel's plan.
How do you... I just left the room.
Yeah, well, word travels fast, and Mabel sends out mass update text.
Oh no. His defensive posture softens a bit.
Just tell me one thing. I know my grunkles can look after themselves, but can you promise me you won't hurt Grunkle Stan? Ooh.
Oh. Maybe the Stan one.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I guess we're good then, for now.
A text notification sounds and Dipper checks his phone.
And be ready. Tomorrow afternoon? For your lakeside date with Grunkle Stan?
Hell yeah.
This feels awkward enough. No offense, Jackpot. It's just, my Grunkle Stan actually going on a date? Do old people even date? It's kind of hard to wrap my head around. I hope Mabel doesn't ask me for my help tomorrow. I mean, I have enough trouble trying to date for myself.
Mabel calls down from upstairs. Hey, Dip Top! I'm gonna need your help tomorrow.
Well, never mind.
That night, you head back to your room, ready to go to bed, but mentally still stuck on that interesting conversation earlier with Mabel.
I think maybe it's just that the ending part was so long, but it seems like we're heading towards the end for some reason.
Right? Like,
Even though we've only done like 2 things. I don't know.
I guess we'll see. Mabel had already put her plan in motion over dinner. Turns out Stan had been planning to take the kids to the lake tomorrow to go fishing. And lucky you, Mabel managed to score you an invite. Waddles joins you surprisingly, and you almost have some fun petting his belly and taking pictures as a distraction from your thoughts. It's almost like he knew something was up. Or did Mabel send him? Is he infiltrating your safety zone for intel?
Safety zone.
You decide not, laying back onto your mattress to try and relax. Waddles settles by your side, snuggling up. Thanks for the support, little buddy. Eventually you get tired of your phone and decide to close your eyes, but you can't stop thinking about what Mabel said. Stan, a romantic? Is that what Mabel said? Yeah, right. No way. Maybe charming in his own way, sure, but the type of guy to go on an actual date? Planned by Mabel? What was Mabel planning anyway? She might go for something fancy or formal, but Stan really seems in his element with the hands-on, nitty-gritty stuff. Hopefully calling it a date won't ruin the natural thing you have going. Your eyes finally close for good, feeling weighed down and heavy. You give Waddles a pat while you still can before slipping into unconsciousness. You slip out of a dream and back into your room in real life. The sky is light outside, and groggily you feel regret as you realize Waddles' comforting weight isn't there anymore. Wait, that's not what you're regretting. You're regretting the end of what you feel like was a really good dream. Stan had taken you with him to the lake, you think, and somehow ended up in the water. Sunlight streamed down onto him as he grinned at you, his white shirt sticking wet to skin. That'd be a date, all right. It's the last thing you're expecting from him today. Laughing quietly at yourself, you glance at the clock to see it's time to get ready for the day anyway. A little while later, you're dressed for a day at the lake, meaning dressed for a regular day of summer. You're not sure what to expect, so you kept it casual. You would have eaten breakfast with Stan and the kids, but you were barred from the kitchen by Mabel, who was shielding you from a surprise. Instead, you were handed a slice of toast topped with an oddly cheerful sunny side-up egg and waved outside. Now that you're out in the sunlight, you can see that Mabel has stuck a smiley face sticker on top of the egg. You peel it off with a shrug and dig in. Leaning against the scarlet door of the El Diablo, you stare up at the totem pole outside the shack, thinking about how it both stands out and fits perfectly in with the shack's aesthetic. It's obviously part of this weirdness of the tourist shop, but you're not sure why. It looks pretty well made, even if it's kind of creepy that whenever you move, the eyes at the top seem to follow you. Yeah. Suddenly, the front door of the house bursts open, and a flurry of sequins and glittery hair clips flies out, attached to a very excited Mabel. Jackpot, are you ready? You're not spying any conspiratory nudges or winks, so you kind of think Mabel's dropped the whole date setup thing, at least for the moment. For what? Fishing? Yeah! Aren't you excited? This isn't just regular lake lake fishing. This is Lake Gravity Falls fishing, where adventure awaits, danger is hot on your heels, and the islands shift and move in the corners of your eyes. The what move?
Are we talking about Scuttlebutt Island? I love telling that one. So we were out on the shore, right? And we saw this giant...
Hey, you kids better not be giving Jackpot that lake monster story again.
Stan comes out of the shack with several fishing rods in the crook of his arm, as well as a large tackle box in his right hand. In his other hand are 4 fishing hats with haphazard embroidery on the front of 2 of them. A closer look reveals that there are actually names stitched onto the hats, reading Mabel and Dippy.
Grunkle Stan, you don't have to pretend to not believe us anymore. I swear it really happened. It just rose right out of the water and started chasing us.
And we had to row back as fast as we could, and it was speaking creepy monster language, and...
What did I say? No more of that monster talk, or you're gonna scare Jackpot away.
Both kids look a little disappointed, but leave it at that. Stan puts on a smile and drops Dipper and Mabel's respective fishing hats on their head, and Mabel tugs hers on while running to the car, while Dipper follows, exchanging his usual hat for the fishing one. Stan looks out after them, then turns to face you.
Yeah, kids love to exaggerate. Pretty sure it wasn't that terrifying. Besides, I've been through worse. You hear that, kids? Only your Grunkle Stan's got the right to complain.
Stan hefts his fishing supplies over to one arm, using the other to dig around in his pocket for the car keys. He tosses the rods, hats, and tackle box inside. Mabel's hand darts in before Stan can close the trunk, grabbing a hat. Before you can tell what it says, it's shoved in your hands and you smooth out the fabric to read Jackpot.
Oh.
You get a Stan groans.
I get a hat.
Mabel, I thought I told you I wasn't gonna give it to him.
But you worked so hard stitching it this morning. You even got the letters on the right way on. Mostly.
Oh.
Because he made their hats, so... Mabel gets in the back seat next to Dipper, leaving you to look at the hat more closely. The sewing is a little messy and one of the letters is backwards, but Stan clearly puts some amount of care into it. Speaking of Stan, he's staring at the hat Mabel shoved at you, thinking of something to say. Did you really make this for me? Stan scratches the back of his head and shrugs a little.
Yeah, Mabel wouldn't let me leave until I made you one. Said it was nicer if all of us had matching hats or something.
Ooh.
Immediately put the hat on.
Yeah. In the back of the trunk for never.
No!
Jesus.
You put it on and beam at Stan. He doesn't respond, just reaching up and closes the trunk, but you see he looks almost too privately pleased to give comment.
Come on, let's get to the lake before all those tourists take the good parking spots.
The parking lot is far less packed than Stan made it out to be. The weather brought out the true fishing fanatics, and you recognize a few customers from the shack's gift shop milling about. There are a couple clouds out, but the sunshine is warm against your skin as you step out of the car, and you shield your eyes from the light as you look out over the lake. A few boats bobbing up and down in the blue-gray water sport telltale signs of fellow fishers with poles sticking out over the boat's edges, but some people are just relaxing in the water. Families sit on the beach towels and sunbathe, and you spot a couple kids standing in line for a hot dog stand. For a small town, this place is pretty lively. Mabel and Dipper run out to the shore where a splash from Mabel soon devolves the moment into a contest of who can splash who worse. You grin at them and their laughter, but a quiet grunt from behind you catches your attention. Left to get everything out of the trunk, Stan struggles to get the fishing equipment out without dropping anything.
We gotta help him, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Why would we let him... Hey, need some help? Stan glances up at you.
It's not really that much, you know.
Not even a couple of poles? Stan considers this for a moment, then hands you 2 of the 4 fishing poles.
Think you can hold your own?
What, under the crushing weight of a couple fishing poles? I think I can manage. You hear Mabel's voice from the distance away to the shore. Truce! Truce! Hold on, I've got a phone call. You see Mabel taking out her cell phone as Dipper takes the opportunity to start wringing out parts of his shirt. Uh-huh, okay, I'll be there in 5. Bye, Grenda! Mabel hangs up and rushes to you and Stan. Grunkle Stan, I'm really sorry, but emergency is happening right as we speak.
What, is somebody dying?
No, the opposite. A birthing! Grenda Jr. is having a baby right now, and Grenda needs me there for motherly support. Grunkle Stan, you gotta let me go. Stan scratches his head and frowns.
I don't know, sweetie. I thought we were gonna all go fishing today. Can't you hold it in? Isn't that a thing that happens?
Nope, and it's not every day I get to see the wonders of iguana childbirth. Grunkle Stan, please. Mabel gives him those patented Mabel puppy eyes. Stan lets out a heavy sigh, shakes his head, and smiles.
All right, Pumpkin. Go on. I know your friend is waiting for you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you! Mabel wraps her arms around Stan's waist and gives him a strong hug, her wide grin never faltering. She then lets go and grabs Dipper's wrist before dashing off. And I'm taking Dipper for moral support!
Wait, I didn't agree to this. Mabel!
I thought lizards hatched from eggs.
Thought so too, but hell, I've seen weirder. That's not the question, kid.
That's fair. Before you delve too deeply into the thought of live-birthed lizards, your phone buzzes in your pocket. You pull it out, and it's a text from Mabel. Hi, Jackpot! I fixed you up so that you get a whole day with Grunkle Stan. Have fun!
Oh my god.
Oh shoot, I gotta go. Grenda says Grenda is getting closer to baby time. See ya!
Wait,
It's
so
real! That clever little devil.
Something wrong?
Nah, just Mabel saying she's going to send lots of pictures of the newborn lizard.
Well, come on. Let's get fishing before it gets dark out.
Towards the end of the first pier, docked with only a frayed length of rope, is a sad-looking dinghy with the words Stan of War brushed down in thick black paint. You note a small rusting motor on the stern that looks as if it's going to fall apart at any moment, and what looks like a hastily made patch on the side. There's no way this thing is watertight. Stan sets the two poles down inside, along with the tackle box, and gestures at the boat.
Well, there she is. A beauty, ain't she?
Oh no.
Well?
Well? You look at Stan, then back at the boat, then back at him. It's a bit small, don't you think? Stan crosses his arms.
What, you saying you got a problem with my boat?
No, it's just... compliment the man's boat.
Carp capacity,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Where are we gonna put the massive amounts of fish we're about to catch? Stan laughs at that, his expression brightening.
Ha! Optimistic. I like it.
I'm gonna reel in so many fish it'll be coming out of your ears, Stanley pines.
All right, Hotshot. I'll hold you to that.
Stan climbs down into the boat first, then offers you his hand to steady yourself as you follow him down. The boat wobbles a little, swaying dangerously away from your body, but Stan's grip is firm, and you're able to get into the boat without incident.
Whoa there. Careful now. Wouldn't want you getting wet before we've even started. The footing's a little tricky, see? That plank has a habit of moving and tripping this boat the whole way over. And when that happens, you want to swing your weight over here.
Okay, no, I'm getting out. Stan chuckles heartily, making it clear he was joking. In your relief, you notice that he's still holding your hand from the assist earlier.
I'm just messing with you. Don't worry. You're not going to get wet, Toots. You're in good hands. And this, isn't the only fishing vessel I own. The other one's bigger, called Stan of War 2.
Creative.
Hey, I'm not joking this time. I've got pictures. Hold on. And you quit standing there. Take a seat. Don't want you losing your balance.
You sit and watch as Stan digs out his wallet and opens it. It's so full of photos that several come free, fluttering down to the floor of the boat. As you pick them up, you see their pictures of Seuss, the kids, and a teenager you've been told is Wendy.
This is the Stan of War 2.
Stan hands you an unfolded photo which depicts him and Ford standing proudly on the deck of a comparatively larger, newer, and safer looking vessel than the one you're in now. It's docked in a place you don't recognize, and the sky is bright blue and cloudless.
She was a Brazilian one. Sailed all over and never let me down once. Well, until me and Ford came back to Oregon. Then poof, she sputtered out and we had to send her in for repairs. Something about sailing in extreme environments. Point is, I'm back down to the Stan of War Mark 1 over here. This old girl's got her quirks, but she's reliable.
I'm guessing this one needs fixing pretty often.
Yeah, just like my El Diablo. Every time it broke down, I just fix it up again. Learned real quick what to do and what not to do under the hood.
He chuckles to himself and dusts off his hands before presenting his outstretched palm to you.
You see that big scar right across my palm? Told the kids I got it fighting off a grizzly bear. You should have seen the looks on their faces. Thought it was some kind of hero, you know? But the real story is, I burned it on the engine when I was 16. Must have thought it was hot stuff trying to change the oil while the car was running.
Oh my god. Stan! Oh my god, were you alright? That must have been so painful.
My pop's mom called me an idiot for thinking the engine wasn't hot, but my mom cleaned me up in the end.
You remember you're still holding his photos and we hand them all back, which he returns to his wallet with some difficulty. Hey, does that wallet just carry photos, or does it hold money from time to time? Stan chuckles at your teasing.
Nah, I just keep a lot of photos in there to remember. Keeps me grounded. Anyway, let's get the show on the road.
Stan turns, busying himself with cranking the motor, and with a few pulls, it sputters to life, expelling a thick plume of exhaust. He coughs and attempts to wave it away quickly.
Ooh, we are past midnight.
Oh.
10 minutes past midnight.
10 more hours to go. Well, 11 more hours to go.
Yeah.
Because of daylight savings.
Mm-hmm.
Stan gives the motor a couple of good thumps and it quits coughing, the engine smoothing out into a much gentler thrum. From there, he's back to focusing on untying the boat from the pier and easing it out into the open water of the lake.
Okay.
Glancing around, you spot the two policemen from your night in the clink, and you quickly duck out of sight, hoping to avoid being seen. Stan turns his head and notices you crouched on the bottom of the boat and quirks an eyebrow.
You hiding from the sun or something?
No, it's those two cops from a few days ago. Stan whips his head around, spots them, and lets out a laugh so loud it startles you.
Who, Blubs and Durland? Ha! I told you, those two are harmless. And besides, I think today they're a little more focused on each other than us.
You peek your head up over the edge of the boat, just enough to check out Stan's claim. Sure enough, the two cops seem to be engrossed only in each other, laughing and applying sunscreen to each other's skin. It's cute, you think, and a relief that they're not on the lookout to arrest you and Stan again. Phew, thank goodness. That cell was way too cold to go back to. Stan gives you a nod of agreement, opening the tackle box. There's a bunch of colorful lures inside, a few hooks, and some spare string for the poles. He motions for you to hand him your pole, and within moments, he's got a hook tied to the end of your line.
You a live bait or a lure kind of person?
Oh.
Live, right?
I guess, I don't know. I don't know.
Because he likes making things. Oh no, what does the walkthrough say?
I don't know, I didn't have the walkthrough up.
Ah. Walkthrough. Stan's route. Okay. Why is it so tiny?
Hang on, go down. Wait.
Oh, I guess it doesn't
It doesn't
matter.
say. I guess it doesn't matter, yeah. Okay.
Okay. I guess lure?
Yeah, do lore.
I got you. I'm a live bait. No!
No!
I'm a live bait man myself, but I bet I can swing you over to my side in no time.
Stan picks out a feathered lure from the tackle box and attaches it to the end of your line, then hands you back your pole. The two of you settle into the relative quiet. As you wait for a bite, you look out over the lake at the other people outside today. Whether because he noticed, or whether he was just feeling the lull in the conversation, Stan starts pointing out faces of the locals, putting names to them and giving you a little background on each person. You quickly realize that the background info he gives has too much of his opinion mixed in to be useful, but try to remember the names anyway. Still, time passes easily and you soon find yourself reeling in quite a few catches of your own. Looking over at Stan, you've clearly managed to catch more, but he dismisses the difference with the excuse that his luck's just waiting to kick in any moment now.
Seriously, any moment.
He glares at the lake for a minute, then lets it go, leaning back with a sigh.
Phew, I think it's time for a water break, don't you?
Trying to distract me so you'll gain the advantage?
Hey, if you faint out here, it's not gonna be on me, kid. You want a bottle or not?
Okay. Toss me one, will you? Stan leans down and digs around the bottom of the boat towards the bow, and comes away with 2 bottles of water, wet with condensation. He smiles and tosses you the bottle, and you catch it, twisting off the cap and taking a grateful sip. Until now, you hadn't realized how thirsty you actually were. Stan takes out his own bottle and starts chugging the water, clearly more thirsty than you are. Some of the water slips past the opening and drips down his chin and onto his shirt, darkening the fabric. Your palms suddenly feel very sweaty and you can't look away. Stan notices you staring and swallows, taking the bottle away and licking the stray moisture off his lips. Your eyes both meet, and for a long moment, you both just stare at each other, neither daring to take a breath. Stan licks his lips again, slowly this time, almost deliberately so.
Oh my god.
A sound of a boat motor. I can't. Why did someone make this? A sound of a boat motor breaks the silence, and you whip your head around just in time to see a speedboat tear past you at a speed that's definitely illegal for a lake as small as this one. You have half a mind to share a very rude gesture to the driver, but suddenly Stan is grabbing your hand and shouting,
Look out!
because the massive wave created in the speedboat's weight is headed for your direction. It slams into the dinghy and rocks it off balance, tipping it dangerously to one side before dumping you both out into the water, fish and all. The water is cold, almost bitterly so for being the middle of summer, and despite surfacing nearly instantly, you're already soaked and shivering. The poles, the tackle box, and the fish are long gone, and the boat floats upturned some distance to your right. You swim over to it and grip onto the curved underbelly, gasping for air. You hear Stan sputtering behind you, making his way to the boat. He's yelling at the offending boat, using some very colorful terms you've never heard before, but make mental note to remember later for posterity. Once he makes it to the Stan-O-War, he sags heavily against the wood, taking in deep, measured breaths. He, too, is completely soaked, and his wet shirt clings tightly to his body. As his chest heaves, you can't help but look your fill, then pretend to be very invested in scanning the lake for the two policemen when Stan looks your way.
Well, that's one disaster of a fishing trip.
You can say that again. Stan lets out a disappointed groan and starts pulling off his jacket before tossing it on the upturned boat. What are we gonna tell Dipper and Mabel that their old uncle's lost his fishing touch?
Ha! You wish. I could outfish you any day.
I'd like to see you try, old man.
Old man, why I oughta.
He splashes water on you and you shriek in mock outrage before a wicked grin fills your face.
We're gonna splash him back.
Yeah, of course. You rake your arm through the water, creating a big enough wave that splashes Stan, re-soaking him from head to chest. He looks shocked for a moment before letting out a deep belly laugh and returning the gesture with an even bigger splash. By the time Blubs and Derlin come to rescue you, you both are so utterly soaked from the impromptu water battle, there's no way you're driving off in the sun. You and Stan exchange giddy smiles as Blubs heads back to shore, and something tells you that despite losing all the fish, you weren't going back empty-handed, and neither was Stan. The walk back to the car is slow and methodical, a relief after the adrenaline rush you just had a little while ago. Stan is wringing out his jacket, muttering under his breath something about damaging good Moroccan leather, when a sudden and violent cold chill runs up through your body. Despite the warmth of the sun, your soaked clothes and clammy skin from the water all catch up at once and you start shivering.
Oh, geez, here, take my jacket.
Before you can protest, Stan is draping his jacket around your shoulders. It's damp, but you're immediately surrounded by a sense of warmth, and your chills subside just a little bit. Somehow, despite having taken a dunk in the lake along with the rest of him, the jacket smells good. It's got a faint woodsy smell to it, a hint of smokiness. It takes everything in you not to bury your nose into the thick of it. While you're busy taking in the jacket, Stan hops into the driver's seat and has the El Diablo cranked and running in a flash.
You need a ride back?
Stan, you are my ride.
I know, I'm just teasing you.
He reaches across the bench seat and opens the passenger door, motioning for you to come inside.
Come on, let's get back to the shack. It's a lot warmer in here than out there, you know.
Stan flicks on the radio once you're cruising down the road, and a good song comes on, one you both know the words to. Stan is humming along quietly, and you pretend not to notice, not wanting to ruin a good thing. The breeze from the open windows is calming, and as the trees whiz by, you don't regret getting soaked anymore. It's not long before Stan pulls up to the shack and shuts off the El Diablo, and you both exit the car. Your limbs crack and pop from exertion, and only now do you realize just how exhausted you feel from the day's adventure. Man, you'd kill for a nice, warm, dry bed right about now.
Hey, jackpot,
Stan halts for a moment and scratches the back of his head nervously. He's looking at the ground, shuffling his feet back and forth, trying to find the right words to say.
I feel kind of bad about getting you all soaked today. I promised you'd be in good hands, and then everything went right to hell in a handbasket, didn't it?
Stan, it's fine.
Do you like campfires?
What?
I asked if you like campfires.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes?
Of course we say yes.
Great. Hold on, I'll just be a few minutes.
You're left confused and standing in the backyard of the shack as Stan dashes inside, slamming the door shut as he goes. A chill breeze whips through the trees and you shiver. Despite Stan's jacket, you're still a little damp, and being exposed like this certainly doesn't help matters. You check your phone and after several minutes are ready to give up and head inside the shack when Stan comes through the back door, arms full of marshmallows?
Come here, I want to show you something.
Curious, you follow him over to what appears to be a makeshift fire pit. There's already wood and kindling inside, and part of you wonders if Stan always keeps firewood lying around, or if he prepared this just for you. He pulls a book of matches from his pocket and strikes a match, the head bursting into a bright yellow flame. He tosses it into the woodpile, where gradually the kindling ignites. It's not long before you have a modest but warm fire at your feet.
I figured you're still pretty damp, and I'm sure you're hungry as hell since we didn't catch any fish, so...
He trails off and gestures at the fire and the marshmallows again.
It's the least I could do for screwing up your day.
Stan. Oh god. I want to say that this is wonderful.
Yeah,
but
I think that one.
Yeah. This is wonderful, Stan. Thank you so much. Stan blushes, just a little, from the praise. You can tell he wasn't expecting it with that much sincerity.
Well, shucks, I'm glad you like it.
You're not sure how long you sit out by the fire, roasting marshmallows over the open flame. Stan's burnt his mouth more times than you can count, trying to eat a marshmallow far too soon, and you've burnt enough of the treat to make even the Stay Puffed Man weep. Stan plucks another marshmallow out of the bag and turns it over in his fingers a few times like he's contemplating something, before turning back to face you.
You ever play catch with these?
Huh?
I mean, toss them up and try to catch them with your mouth.
Yeah, who doesn't do that?
Hey, thought I'd ask. You never know with some people these days.
Suddenly a grin spreads across his lips and he tosses the marshmallow up in the air, straight towards you.
Catch!
You lean back and watch as the marshmallow slowly arcs and falls towards you. You're gonna make it! You're gonna make it! It sails just past your cheek and lands on the ground. Stan makes a disappointed noise, but you pluck the marshmallow off the ground anyway and pop it in your mouth. Close enough. Suddenly the back door flies open and out comes Dipper and Mabel, running up to the campfire excitedly. They look horrified. It's because you just ate a marshmallow off the ground. Ugh. They're both in pajamas, but look wide awake as ever and are already snatching up the marshmallow bags to dig in. Are those marshmallows? Come on, Grunkle Stan, why didn't you tell us you were roasting marshmallows?
Because you should be in bed, Pumpkin, that's why.
He ruffles Mabel's hair affectionately and pulls her into his lap, handing her his roasting stick. Nope, we're teenagers now. Teenagers don't have bedtimes.
Yeah, exactly. So Grunkle Stan.
Answer still no, kid. No, you cannot go on a 3-day camping trip to track Ghost Prince.
But Grunkle Ford supports my theory.
If you ask me, your Grunkle Ford needs a bedtime too. So how was the live lizard birth?
Oh, it was so exciting! Grenda Jr. was so relaxed she didn't even realize Grenda Jr. Extreme was being born before her very eyes. And then... Wait, Dipper, you tell him the rest.
Oh, why don't you keep telling it? I didn't get a great look.
But I gave you a front row seat, right next to me. You saw the whole thing up close, intimately, unforgettably. Dipper shivers, and not from the chill of the night air. Okay, fine. So Grenda Jr. Extreme imprinted on Dipper. Isn't that the cutest thing? Little Dip Top, a mom.
No, it's not. And I'm not little. I'm manly.
You and Stan chuckle at the kids' antics and give each other knowing glances as you each pop another marshmallow into your mouths. The fire crackles and you draw Stan's jacket further around yourself, feeling truly warm for the first time today.
Oh my god. Oh lord.
Oh my gosh, there's so
All right,
much.
should I take care of the... Or should we swap off the narration every time we get to one of those?
Sometimes, I mean, it's a lot to
It's a lot.
read.
It's a new day and you wake up early, grasped with the desire to go outdoors. You decide breakfast for one doesn't sound too bad, and maybe a walk. Greasy's isn't too far, and the food there was pretty good. You'll be back before anyone even knows you're gone. To fend against the morning chill, you put on Stan's jacket, which you haven't yet returned from yesterday. You didn't see him when you got up, so it wouldn't hurt to wear it one more time, would it? When you arrive at Greasy's diner, you're immediately greeted with the scent of fresh coffee and sizzling bacon. Looking around at the other diners, you'd guess this is the breakfast rush. Of course, in a small town like this, that means about a dozen other people are here. You've only been in Gravity Falls a week, but you're starting to learn some of the names, and Stan's refresher yesterday helped some too. That big burly guy over there with the bushy red beard you're struggling to recall his name. Let's see, it was...
Oh, it's, Dan. Manly Dan.
Hey, Dan.
No, that's me.
Oh.
Oh. Huh!
Huh!
Hey, you're the tourist staying with the Pines! My kids are off somewhere else, so I got an open seat if you need it. It could be nice. Oh, sorry, it was you.
It could be nice to talk with someone other than the Pines for once. While fun, their hijinks can get tiring even for you.
Alright. You gonna do it?
Sure.
Yeah.
Or...
I don't know. I think you're looking.
I guess so. Yeah, why not? Take a seat with the empty stool next to Dan. Lazy Susan, the waitress, comes over from behind the counter. What can I get you?
What can I get you to drink?
It changed to get you. Coffee, right?
Yeah. Sure thing. I'll have it right out for you.
You notice she doesn't take Dan's order.
Nice jacket! Thanks, Stan Pines loaned it to me. Yeah, half the town noticed that yesterday.
Oh, you hadn't realized that it was public. It was that public.
It was that public. Splash sent a lot of fish swimming my way, though, so thanks! Does word always move that quick around here? You worried about that now? People in town were already talking before that. You just gave them more to talk about. What were they saying?
He shrugs. If a slab of solid stone could shrug.
I don't listen to gossip. Gossip happens to come to my ears.
Lazy Susan comes back out with your drink, as well as a hot cup of coffee for Manly Dan. You figured he'd ordered it before you sat down. You watch as Dan lifts a seeming mug of coffee to his mouth, and then chugs the whole thing. It looks like an instant recipe for a second-degree burn, but surprisingly, almost sickeningly, he seems relieved by it. You're starting to realize why this guy is such a tough guy reputation. He sighs, putting the now empty mug back down, and turns to you.
What were we talking about? I seriously can't remember. I'll get you a refill. You ready to order, sweetie? Me? Oh yeah, can I have the, Are we going back to pancakes, or are we...
Eggs and bacon.
Eggs and bacon? Okay.
She leaves, and you and Dan are left to sit in silence.
Alright.
Stan Pines, I guess?
Yeah. What do you know about Stan Pines? Real con artist type. Not a friend of mine. But as long as Wendy's getting paid out of his pocket, I don't care either way. Doesn't matter what I say, though. Looks like you already know what to think about him. She didn't take your order. I'm a regular. Pancakes and hot black coffee. Like usual. So tell me some more about your family. Wendy's my oldest. Then there are 3 boys. Marcus, Kevin, and Gus.
Huh. He didn't mention a spouse.
Oh no. Their mother was the best woman I ever met. Been 5 years since she died. I still think about her. I'm so sorry.
Lazy Susan comes back over to the counter, setting your plate down in front of you. She gives Manly Dan a big stack of pancakes and a refill on his coffee, and gives a minute nod to his plate.
Like I said.
The conversation comes to an end as the immediate allure of food takes priority. He finishes far faster than you do, and looks out the window, squinting at the angle the light makes with the trees.
It's time for me to hit the road. Nice to meet you.
He goes to the register, pays for his meal, and jogs out of the diner. As he leaves, Lazy Susan comes back over. She leans against the counter, giving you a smile.
So, stranger, I've been seeing you around here with the Pines and haven't even had the chance to talk to you yet. Mind if I stay a bit? Not at all. Alright.
I guess.
Ask about Stan. Do you know Stanley Pines?
She laughs.
Who doesn't? Oh, he's a real charmer. Such a handsome fella. We almost had something once, but it didn't work out. It's so strange. I called him every night. So, how are things going with him? What? You two looked close. Saw you on the lake when I was fishing for dinner. Bet he's the real catch of the day. Am I right?
Laughing, Lazy Susan elbows you companionably, but you're speechless. She winds down with a sigh.
Am I right? I'm right.
Town.
So, how long have you lived in Gravity Falls? Oh, my whole life. Besides what happened last summer, it's always been a nice town. Nice people and nice food, right? Yeah, it's great, but what happened last summer, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, well, never mind all that. Remember that was the Mayor Tyler's ordinance. So, are you the owner? Oh gosh, no, I'm just a waitress. Been here ever since I was a teenager. Me and Matilda have been the only waitresses here for years, but we've had a promising new trainee working here since the spring.
She points out the window to where a blonde girl around Mabel's age is shooting a raccoon away from the diner's trash cans. Lazy Susan puts her hands on her hips with pride.
We're starting her out small. Woodpeckers next. Pacifica. Well, I better get back to work. It was nice to meet you, Jackpot. Enjoy your breakfast.
And you do, digging back into your breakfast with gusto until your meal is again interrupted, this time by the buzzing of your phone from inside your pocket. Huh, it's a call from a number you don't recognize.
Pick it up.
Always pick it up. Maybe this one won't be from a telemarketer.
Hello?
This Jackpot?
Wait, Stan?
Yeah, it's me. Look, I've got a surprise waiting for you back at the shack. Think you can get back over here from wherever you are?
The surprise sounds intriguing, so you promise to be there after breakfast. It's not long until you finish up, pay for your food, and head out the door. As you approach the shack, you spot Stan already outside.
Hey, I was about to call again to make sure you didn't get lost. You plan this sort of timing or what?
Comes naturally. What's the thing you wanted to show me?
You'll see. Just follow me.
Stan leads you to a room in the back of the shack that you remember being used mostly for a storage space. Now, though, the furniture there has been pushed aside, and the boxes have been stacked against the walls to make room for what looks like
A boxing ring?
It looks ragtag, hand-constructed, and distinctly homemade. You pulled this together just this morning?
I started putting this together last night after everyone went to bed. I was admiring my new clothing again, thinking about our drive last week, and I remembered I wanted to show you how to throw a better punch.
Stan shrugs, casual, as though he hadn't already put loads of work into what he's prepared for. You.
So what do you think? Ready to learn how to hit?
Yes, absolutely.
Whoa, someone's eager.
He grins, though, relieved, and it's like a weight come off his shoulders. Did he think you might have said no?
Well, here.
From his pockets, he pulls a roll of what looks like gauze tape.
Before we even do anything, we gotta wrap your hands properly. You could get hurt otherwise.
Takes one of your hands in his, looping the tape around your thumb and winding it around your wrist, then up around your hand, wrapping it snugly. He pulls the tape between and through your fingers as they rest on his palm. His hand is warm, the warmth seeping into yours as he holds it. It's faint, but you feel the roughness of his palm as you watch as he works, confident but careful. It shouldn't affect you as much as it does. You should feel neutral, grateful, nothing more. But when it's him and the two of you are nearly face to face, the act holds an undeniable intimacy. He pulls the tape back around your thumb and then around your knuckles expertly. It feels right. No, not tight, secure. Stan finishes the wrap at the wrist, and you watch him pull the tape towards his mouth. Clenching it between his teeth, he jerks his head to sever it. The remainder is then wrapped back around, snug and complete, and Stan smiles down at his work. He doesn't look up at you yet, but if you had, you would have been embarrassed by the expression that's on your face.
Other hand now.
You offer your other hand and he starts on it, same as before. This time you watch the act less and watches the look in his eyes more. It's his focus you find, then the care underneath it. You can see it in his every pull and twist of the tape, a conviction to protect, to secure. You're so lost in the sight that before you know it, he's done and looking at you again.
Alright, not too tight, is it?
Nope.
Then let me show you how you should be standing.
Standing? Is there something wrong with your posture right now? Stan starts giving some sort of explanation, but the moment he steps up to you and places a hand at the small of your back to guide you, words lose their meaning.
You don't want to be too stiff, you see.
He directs you, smoothing out the line of your shoulders, widening your stance, placing guiding hands to show you how you should be positioning yourself. He's talking again, but you're more than a little distracted.
And that's why we do that. Make sense?
Yeah?
Good. Now on to punching. I got some personal experience with the way you hit.
I already apologized for that.
And it could use a whole lot of work. I'm telling you, I barely felt it. You just had to direct that strength. He demonstrates, moving to your right to assume the same stance he's guided you into, and swinging through empty air. He does it again, slower this time for it to explain how to shift your weight, where to start from, where to go. Then it's your turn, and after a couple swings of your own, the hands-on guidance is back. Stan's hands resting briefly at your waist to adjust the twist of your torso, next to your shoulders, nudging you into better balance. Then he corrects the movement of your arms. His chest is warm against your back as he reaches to show you where to go. Your breath catches. Yes, there. Damn, you almost had it. Try again. Come back here and...
Actually, I think it'd help if I had, something to hit.
Sure, we can, Jackpot, you sure you want to go on? You're looking kind of red. This unexpected intimacy is a little overwhelming right now, and he's still so close to you. Especially after what you'd heard at the diner today. That whatever you gave him is obvious. It has you a little on edge.
I'm fine. You put this whole room together and we haven't even used it yet. We should.
For that, you're gonna need these. He holds up a pair of standard, albeit a bit old-looking boxing gloves, handing them to you. You have some trouble putting them on. They're a little big. Hold on, let me do it. I'll lace them up for you. He takes your hand again, like earlier, pulling at the laces of the glove tighter and tighter until the fit is snug. Is that too tight?
No, that's fine.
He ties it off and takes your other hand, cradling it in his own for a moment before his hands move up, brushing along your wrist. He pulls the laces together, and as he does, you steal a look at his face. There's that same focus, that same care. The longer you stare, the more you feel heat rushing to your face, turning it red. How about that?
It feels perfect.
He looks up, and his eyes lock with yours. He looks away, clearing his throat with a gruff cough, and you notice how it's his face that's pink. We should, get started. It's nice to see that you aren't the only one affected, as you watch Stan quickly wrap his own hands with a lingering blush on his face. He pulls on a pair of fingerless gloves next, and walks into the makeshift ring. You're gonna try to land a hit on me, alright?
What, you're just gonna stand there and let me hit you?
Stan laughs, shaking his head.
You okay?
Yeah.
Do you want to take a small break?
No, I'm just like, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Do you want me to do narrator?
No, I'm good. You think I'd make it easy on you, Jackpot? No, I'm gonna be hitting back. Of course, I'm not gonna let any of my hits land, but it'll stall you long enough to make it a challenge. Remember what I showed you. Jab, swing, and block. Put them in action, and it's just the next step.
We're close after this. It's disco night, so
Is that the end, though?
I don't know.
Yep. Disco night's the last one. Oh, yeah, we're close. We are getting close. Boxing's pretty simple when you get down to it, but it's all in the timing. You need to know what the other person in the ring's thinking. It's like almost like a dance.
Sorry.
You good? Getting another or what are you doing?
Back over here.
The other person in the ring, even though you're up against each other, they're just as much your partner as they are your opponent. Even though you're going head to head, you have to be willing to get intimate with them. Knowing the right moves at the right time and in the right place, you'd wind up forming a bond with your opponent. You nod and step up to join him in the ring.
Where did you learn so much about boxing?
Well, when we were kids, my brother and I had it a little rough. We weren't too popular with the other kids in the neighborhood. So our old man put us through boxing lessons. He wanted us to be tougher. My brother couldn't quite take to it. Not exactly. Poindexter could ace the lessons. Same as how he was good at anything that he put his big old brain towards. But he quit the first chance he could. But me? Heh, what else did I have going on for me, you know? If anything, I had to be tough enough to protect him, to keep us all safe. I've always got to be the tough one. I always have been hard. It's hard, but sooner or later you forget what it's like to not have to feel tough. So I guess you could say it gets easier. After I left home, I was on the road for a bit. Got into my fair share of trouble that followed me wherever I went. But I was fine. I was tough enough. I knew how to fight. It got me far enough, didn't it? It's gotten me through all these years. And here I am with you. Stan's eyes seem to glisten,
but he looks away before he can tell you for sure. He smiles with that big, ridiculous grin, as though to reassure you. He fakes a cough and wipes at his nose.
Jeez, it's so dusty back here. We might as well get started already, huh? You probably don't want to listen to me rambling all day. Like I said, timing's key. It's time to make that big swing, or we'll be able to block it. Sometimes it's smarter just to take a quick jab, even if you don't hit that hard. Being quick enough to wear your partner down and keep him blocking is enough to get you there. So let's dance.
Oh no.
Jab is faster than a block.
Mini game.
Does 1 damage. Swing does 3 damage, but is stopped by a block. If neither opponent blocks, both hits will succeed. Okay.
You gonna save?
I guess I should. Boom, pow, right in the kisser. Swing. Oh,
Okay.
both swung. How dare you? It's an even match. You can feel your confidence rising. Swing! Oh my
Alright.
god, we're both just going at it.
Yeah.
It's an even match. You can feel your confidence rising. Swing.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh, but even though he blocked, it's...
Maybe jab.
No, because like, even if he blocks,
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's best
Yeah.
to always swing.
No, you're right. Yep.
Cause
Oh.
yeah. Oh wow, you have to call it. You don't have any energy left in you. Stands panting by now, sweat shining on his forehead and collarbone.
With you there, kid. I think we both had enough.
Stan laughs.
It's been too long since I had a decent fight. Hey, you were great.
You laugh too. The two of you lock eyes again, and there it is, that warmth, that redness. You're both covered in sweat, out of breath, and even though you're both exhausted, you still pick up on a light in his eyes, an eagerness. There's something here that's waiting to break in this moment of eye contact. Breaking the silence, you decide to be the first to act this time.
You know what? I think I'd love to dance with you sometime.
Yeah, we should do this again.
Definitely. But I mean, I think I'd really like to dance with you in a more literal sense too. Not as opponents, but together, you and me.
Whoa, I'm going for it. You hope he feels this too, this connection, this chemistry you have. It can't just be you. Your breath is held, nervous, and while it felt like time stood still in place of that pause, just a second later Stan breathes in, and then he speaks.
I'd like that, you know? I really like that.
He's smiling, in a way that lights up his face like you haven't seen before. You're smiling too, wide and goofy, full of sheer giddiness you can't contain. There's something intoxicating about it. With that running feeling through you, it's a hard fall back to earth.
Hey, can you help me get these gloves off?
Stan laughs, loud and free, and obliges. It's later that day, just after dinner, when you get around to telling Stan about your time at the diner.
So I guess I'm asking, is it always like that around here?
People talking about my love life? Heh, after you've survived Mabel, everyone else is small fry. There's not much to talk about in this town, so when a tourist crashes their car into the jewel of the town at the peak of the season, that's prime material. Enough of that, though. I thought we could have a more private movie night, you know, to wind down a little. I keep the movies in that cabinet there. Go on and pick one.
You open it up to reveal a stack of VHS tapes and a few DVDs. What do you want to watch? Oh.
The classic drama.
Is it a classic drama?
Because I'm assuming, because that's when he got really invested in the historical.
True. It's an old black and white movie about a young woman whose lover has to leave the country to pursue his dreams. At the film's climax, right as she's about to get onto the boat to sail off for foreign lands, lovers kiss of its violent swell, promise to never forget each other, and he sails away knowing they'll never see each other again. How very Casablanca almost of it.
I know.
Not a plane instead of a boat, but
Yeah.
you hear sniffling, and after confirming that it didn't come from the TV, you realize it's coming from your left, from Stan. He's resolutely staring at the TV with a deep-set frown on his face, but his eyes shine with withheld tears. Huh, Stan really is a romantic at heart. Good call, Mabel. You act like you didn't notice and continue to watch as the heroine returns to her average life, clearly no longer satisfied with mundanity. Feeling comfortable, you shift your position a bit to rest your head on Stan's shoulder.
Getting sleepy?
A little, but I gotta see how this ends. There's no way she's just gonna go on like that.
Stan chuckles before making a sound of excitement.
Look, this is the best part.
He said that about 3 times already, but you don't mind at all. Not too long after, the film concludes, leaving exactly what the woman did when she returned to the dock late at night unclear, setting up for a sequel you know Stan has in his collection. The ending credits roll across the screen against a melancholy orchestral accompaniment.
No.
Do we call him out?
Doesn't
Well,
say.
the walkthrough doesn't say. I think we call him out.
Okay.
Hey, his wasn't the only heart that drama touched. That movie played with your heart like a fiddle, and a tear runs down your cheek as the credits roll. You wipe it away, but Stan notices.
You feel that much for them, huh?
His tone is gruff with emotion he can't hide.
I bet I could get Seuss to write one of these fix-it stories.
Really?
He fixed Detective to that detective's twin brother loved him again, just like when they were kids. I'll see what he can whip up.
He writes fan fiction. Of course he does.
By the time the credits are over, you're sleepy enough that you can't imagine getting up from your spot. Stan seems to feel the same, but the jarring shift of the TV screen from black to loud, snowy static brings him to his feet. He grumbles, switching the unit off, but not bothering to take the tape out.
You were right. That was pretty good.
Of course I was, Jackpot.
Stan offers you his hand to help you up and out of your seat, and you accept. It's funny because we put in the first and last name every single time they call you Jackpot.
I know.
I wonder if when you introduce yourself as Jackpot, they just think your name is Jackpot.
I like that headcanon.
Like they don't realize it's your first and last name. Your eyes meet for a moment, and the faint glow of the table lamp catching in them before you break the silence with a laugh, smiling tiredly.
Thanks for the session today. My arms are sore, so I hope that means it's working.
It's then you realize your hand is still at Stan's, and he beams at you.
Oh, definitely.
Well, good night then, Stan. I'll see you in
You glance at the clock.
a few hours, I guess.
Sure thing. Good night, Jackpot.
You go to bed that night comforted that perhaps Seuss's fanfiction can fix all.
Alright.
Wow. One more.
I will say there was apparently a special photo in that one that we didn't get because we didn't sit alone at the diner.
Oh.
I know. We missed another one of the photos.
Oh, there's photos for these.
Yeah, there's usually, but
Oh, I didn't even see that. So we have to sit alone for that one for that photo.
yeah, that's okay. I think that's the only one we've missed so far.
By near perfect playthrough. Interesting.
Huh.
Well, we'll see if we got a perfect playthrough. Probably not. Well,
Oh, we definitely don't have a perfect playthrough. I'm sure we don't.
well, now I'm curious. Like, let's see what. Sounds. Oh.
Huh.
Hmm.
Yeah, we don't have a perfect playthrough at all.
No, not at all. Okay, interesting.
Mm.
So are we gonna fail this playthrough?
I don't know.
Dang it!
I thought we were doing well.
I did too.
I guess we'll see. What in the... When you open your eyes, you're being stared down by a fat, wet snout. Ah!
Oink.
Oh, Waddles, it's you. The plump pig is lying on your chest, and boy, he's real hefty. I think that's...
Maybe.
I don't know who that is.
Or jackpot.
Yeah, I don't know. Ah! You jolt up at the sudden voice from above you, sending Waddles falling from your chest into your lap with a scree. You turn to see Mabel, all metal-filled smile and rosy cheeks, barely able to contain her glee despite nearly scaring the life out of you. Hey there, sleepyhead. It's lunchtime. It is? Or is it? What happened to breakfast? A glance at your phone tells you slept past noon. Instead of leaving and letting you get ready for the day, though, Mabel sits right down on the edge of the mattress with you and looks at you expectantly. So, how have things been going with Grunkle Stan? Has he told you about his feelings yet? Have you two kissed? You're not sure you would tell her even if either of those things did happen.
Can mess with her.
Okay. Aww, Jackpot, you're just joking. Okay, maybe there haven't been any milestones, but things are going great, right?
What do you think?
Yeah. Absolutely, definitely. And I think you should tell him how you feel. I'll keep that in mind, but can I get changed now? All right, silly me. Come on, Waddles. They leave and you're left to your thoughts. With all the hectic supernatural stuff in Gravity Falls that inexplicably often finds itself in or near the shack, you haven't been able to spend much significant time with Stan since your boxing session. You've only found short moments, like late-night game of cards that ran longer than expected because by the end of it, you'd both just left the deck on the table as you listened to him tell a story about how this one time well, you guessed that was a significant amount of time. You just never really wanted those moments to end. You okay?
I feel like there's an eyelash falling out.
Should we take it off?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. You know how eyelashes fall off.
I know.
Oh.
I don't want to irritate you because you're not used to this.
Well, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
And just yesterday, Ford came up to you in the kitchen, standing with a bowl of cereal in hand that he was apparently in the middle of eating, and basically gave you a condensed version of, "If you break my twin brother's heart, I'll make you regret it." The bowl of cereal turning out to be 95% marshmallows did not make him seem any less intimidating.
It's the best part.
Yeah. I actually don't like them in cereal. That's why I don't like Lucky Charms.
They're not my favorite, but they're the best part of Lucky Charms.
I just don't like any part of them. I don't like the freeze-dried marshmallows.
Okay.
You're not sure why he did that. As far as you know, there's nothing official between you and Stan. Besides, Stan and Ford don't even live on land anymore. They'll be setting sail again, exploring the seas and documenting the oddities of the world. From what you've heard about it already, it's intense stuff that keeps them on the move and untethered. And you're no expert, but your car's looking pretty close to done, meaning you'll be leaving Gravity Falls soon enough. All you can do is hope you're not leaving with any regrets. Heading out through the back door so that you don't disturb Seuss's current tour, you round the house to where your car has stood still for the past 2 weeks. Sure enough, there you find Stan, staring thoughtfully into the hood before he spots you and brightens.
Hey, how's it hanging, Jackpot?
Fancy finding
yeah.
you here.
Fancy finding you here, outside your own house, where Ford told me you'd be.
What can I say? I'm unpredictable. Never know what I'll be up to next. Your car's almost good to go. As far as I can tell, I'm planning on taking her for a quick test run around town to make sure.
Sounds fun. When do we go?
You ain't coming. I don't want you inside if there's an explosion or something. There won't be, but it's a precaution.
Okay.
But if you are free tonight, I figured we would celebrate.
Yeah, sure. What did you have in mind?
I can't tell you. That'd just ruin the surprise. All you gotta worry about is yourself. Meet me back here in a few hours, and wear your best duds.
Stan shoots you a wink, twirling your car keys around his finger before he turns and gets into your car. Unsure why you couldn't go with him and hang out tonight, you wave goodbye and watch carefully as he revs the car to life. It works, and hey, no explosion.
Okay.
He gives you a thumbs up, which you return, and pulls out onto the dirt road toward town. A handful of hours later, and it's just about time to get ready for your date. Stan got back to the shack a moment ago, and through the window you spotted Mabel talking to him outside. Though you couldn't figure out what they were saying, you laughed to yourself when she took his face in her hands, squishing his cheek and looking him straight in the eye. A cute intimidation tactic, maybe? After rummaging through all the clothes you'd brought with you for your trip, you're relieved to find an outfit that fits the occasion. It's...
Flashy.
You think flashy?
Flashy.
Oh, okay, flashy. You don't remember why you packed it in the first place, but you're sure glad to have this outfit now. Feeling good about the outfit you chose, you head outside to meet Stan. You step out onto the back porch and are met with his back to you, looking off into the distance. You're about to call his name when he turns in your direction and your words die on your tongue, speechless at the sight of him. He looks handsome. Your eyes catch on the way his gold chain glints in the light, drawing your attention to his proudly exposed chest, helpfully framed by the cut of his shirt. The buttons almost strain to contain how good he looks, and your gaze follows the line lower to how... Stan whistles playfully at the sight of you.
Ain't you a sight for sore eyes? You're not so bad yourself?
Yeah. You sure clean up nicely. You give him a once-over, as though you hadn't already been looking earlier. Stan's cheeks flush the faintest pink as he smooths out his jacket in response, posture straightening proudly.
This look used to be all the rage back in the day. Trends may fade, but Stan Pines has still got it.
So where to? Hands in his pockets, Stan nods over to the Stanmobile a few feet in front of you.
Only one way to find out.
He offers his arm and escorts you to the passenger side, opening and shutting the door for you before heading over to the driver's side. While you were already looking forward to this, the way Stan looks makes you feel all the more eager. And that cologne, it suits him.
Hello! Welcome
Hello.
back from work, I assume. We're still going at it. Yeah.
You watch him, thinking to yourself just how crazy this all is. Your brain is telling you to get a grip, but your cheeks are beginning to ache from smiling so much, and you can't bring yourself to mind. The El Diablo soon purrs to life, and you're on your way. Since you don't know your destination, you're not sure how long the ride will be. Not like you mind at all.
Make conversation, right?
Okay, yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, like,
Yeah,
talk to them and
yeah.
stuff.
You always this mysterious with your dates, luring them off into the night with a promise of a good time? Stan chuckles.
Nah, only ones I like being around.
Good to know.
Besides, you should definitely know what to expect from a drive with me now.
The unexpected?
Bingo!
You gaze out the window again, unable to keep the smile from your face. Another minute or so passes before Stan speaks again.
Alright, we're almost there. Close your eyes.
Really?
Yes, really. And I've got a blindfold in the glove box if you can't stop yourself from peeking.
Somehow it seems like he's not joking about that last part. After what you've seen with him, it wouldn't be a surprise.
Right, he totally has a blindfold.
Oh,
in there.
100%, yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Comment on it?
Sure.
Why not?
You laugh and cover your eyes with your hands. We can save that for another time. I promise I won't peek. Oh, God! That got a little spicier than I thought it would.
Spicy.
You can't see, but somehow your instincts tell you he's flushed red from that. He laughs, pleased. You keep your eyes closed for another minute or two as Stan begins to tell you about the time he was hogtied and blindfolded by some thugs on the side of a desert road. Just as it gets to the good part about how he had to hitchhike using only his nose, the car comes to a stop. You both hear and feel Stan put the car into park and realize there's muffled music not too far from you. Can I look now?
Hold on.
Stan exits the car and the footfalls tell you he's walking to your side. In a second he's there, opening your door. Can I look now? Stan chuckles.
Unless you can walk with your eyes closed.
You open your eyes to see a rundown diner. Reese's Diner to be exact.
Wait, what?
The building is about as slightly shabby in appearance as it was when you last visited, but under the glowing "We Have Food" sign is an endearingly hand-painted banner reading Disco Night. Through the windows you can spot energetic silhouettes and flashing multicolored lights. Hardly grandiose, but it's still beautiful. Oh my God, Stan. He takes your hand and helps you out of the passenger seat.
What, you don't like it?
You remember?
Yeah.
I know you've been dying to see the magic I make on the dance floor. Seemed cruel to keep you waiting any longer.
Tease him.
Tease him. We'll see if you can keep up, old man.
Oh, now you're in for it, kid. Hold on to your socks.
As you step inside, you're greeted by the sight of a dance floor. A disco ball reflects fragments of colorful spotlights all around the room, and even the cow skull above the jukebox has string lights wrapped around his horns. There's a good amount of people here. There's mostly older adults, which is unsurprising given the music genre, but there are a few younger folks who seem to be enjoying themselves unironically. You're surprised you don't see Mabel and her friends here. You finally look back at Stan and catch him pretending he wasn't just watching you for your reactions seconds earlier. You didn't do all this just for me, did you?
Nah, it's a monthly thing that picked up a while back. I'll lend them some equipment for every time, but I may have knocked it up for a week for 4.
Knocked it up a week for
What?
4?
I don't understand what that's... I don't know. Oh,
Oh,
he
it's supposed
brought,
to happen.
Yeah, it was
4
supposed to
weeks from
happen.
now.
Yeah. He's smirking. He's so proud of himself. You roll your eyes, but give him a fond smile. Well then, let's dance already. Grabbing Stan's hand in yours, you lead him onto the dance floor, and he follows eagerly.
All right, we can start you off with something easy.
Nuh-uh. I need to see your moves first. Make sure you're the real deal.
Got any requests then?
Foxtrot.
Yeah, foxtrot.
Tab. Oh no.
I'm not the young buck I used to be, but I still got some Lindy Hop in me.
Oh God.
That's
Isn't
brilliant.
that a different dance?
It is a different dance, but it's also very.
No, I'm reading what he said.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not the point.
So you're not gonna throw me around like a rag doll? Got it.
Please, I never do that in public. Unless you ask nicely.
And you dance. Before you know it, the song has passed, and then another, and another. You weren't too sure at first, but Stan's actually a really good dancer. He's light on his feet, and he's definitely got rhythm. He knows just where to guide you, how to hold you. Oh God, you hope your hands aren't sweaty. Are you sweaty? Your face sure feels hot when he shoots you a wink before leading you into a half turn that lands your back flush against his chest.
You keeping up pretty good, Jackpot. You having fun?
He asks you low in your ear in a way that makes your heart flutter as you sway together. Only because I have such an amazing partner.
I could say the same thing.
Stan laughs, bring you back to face him, but the song ends only seconds later and he releases his hold on you. It's a slow song, and Stan raises his brow at you questioningly.
So take initiative.
Yeah. Of course you want to continue. Laughing, you take his hand in yours again and guide it back to your side. Stan beams and brings you closer still. You're about to rest your palms against his chest, but change your mind and rest them on his broad shoulders. You're almost nervous to look him in the eye, but when you chance a glance upward, you're so pleased with what you see. You've been close before, intimately even, but this is a whole new ballpark. Face to face, moving slowly as one, nothing to distract the one from the other's gaze. You try not to think about how good he smells or how comforted and electrified his hold makes you feel, and you definitely try not to think about how a slight lean forward would easily bring his lips to yours. The song changes again, almost too soon, you think, but Stan just picks up his tempo to match, keeping your proximity the same. By now, you don't even have to look at your feet. The pace quickens, and you both get caught in it. A swirl, a swing, a twirl, another swing, and you're dipped in Stan's arms so smoothly that it takes you a split second to realize why you're nearly upside down. Stan's grinning down at you, panting from the intense bout, holding the dip.
Okay, so this is interesting. We'll see if we got the near perfect run right here.
I don't think we did, though. Should we risk it? Let's do it.
We only have this option if it's a near perfect run.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
Bam.
Stan glances down at your lips for a split second, but it's enough to tempt you, and you do the same. Maybe it's the romantic in you, but you can't help yourself. Heart thrumming in your ears, you lean up, meeting him in a kiss. He makes a noise of surprise, which turns into one of contentment as he kisses back. You part after a moment, and Stan's eyes are wide with excitement, grin bigger than you've ever seen. Before you can kiss him again, he brings you back up into his arms to finish off the dance as the song ends. A quick glance around the rooms lets you know that most of the surrounding patrons were watching the two of you dance. They look away as you notice, some whispering and some getting back to their own technique. It's Stan who speaks first.
You hungry?
Not what you were expecting, but you're kind of relieved he's keeping the mood light.
Thought you'd never ask. I actually ate before we left. I almost clicked that too because I saw their eye and I was like, wait. Alright, thought you'd never ask.
Great, my treat, kid. Pick anything you want.
Of course, the place he's most generous at is a diner whose most expensive entree is $20.
I mean,
Why not? You're
Yeah,
already there.
It's also not, like, horrible?
No, it's not.
Yeah. What?
City folk Jack is too good for us.
Right?
Lucky for you, I only want some fries and a shake.
Sounds perfect.
That does sound good.
Instead of waiting for a server to come by, Stan goes straight to the counter to order. You sit down in a pleasantly unsticky booth to wait for him and notice that Stan left his jacket on the seat next to you.
Put it on.
In no time, Stan returns with 2 orders of fries and 2 shakes. He grins when he sees his jacket draped over your shoulders. Hope you don't mind. I was feeling a bit chilly.
Nah, that one looks good on you. And it's not wet this time.
He sits, sliding in right next to you.
It's been a long time since I got fries and a shake from an old diner. Not usually something people my age do, I guess.
What?
I mean, well, I guess he's saying like older people.
Yeah.
They go for like the soup or
That's
like
true.
the boiled chicken, which is
Or the weird fish.
the weird fish. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're different.
From what I've seen, there's a lot about you that's unlike other people your age.
Oh.
Stan looks down at his fries instead of meeting your eye.
Is that a good thing?
You think I'd be here if I thought otherwise? He makes a non-committal sound and takes a thoughtful swig of his shake instead of answering. Since you brought it up, what, is it?
What's that? What's what?
Your age. He shakes his head, smiling.
You don't want to know, kid.
It's a red flag.
Mm.
Of course I do. That's why I asked. But don't worry, you don't have to tell me. Just go ask Ford, he'll tell you. Stan purses his lips, expecting there to be some sort of catch. I don't really care, I'm just curious. Figured I'd ask. You already know mine and nothing stopped you from asking me out, so I'm sure it'll come up eventually. You state so lightly, picking at your fries for a good first bite. Stan simply stares at you for a moment, like he knows you have a point. He shakes it off and returns back to his food. Ready to dig in properly, you take a fry and dip it into your chocolate shake. Stan, handful of fries ready to be shoved into his gaping mouth, looks at you like you just screamed bloody murder.
Yeah, we definitely have a near perfect thing because this also doesn't show up in
Oh,
this.
really?
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep.
See, we did well even without having to look at the walkthrough.
I guess maybe this doesn't show up because there's like you wouldn't be comfortable enough doing it in front of them.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
did pretty good, yeah. Without the
Yeah.
walk, I mean, like honestly, most of the decisions we made, except for like one other that we would have picked something different, have been spot on.
Yeah. What?
Did you just...
What, you've never tried it?
No, of course not.
It's delicious. Perfect mix of sweet and salty.
It's a pretty good mix, but you have to have the right milkshake for it.
And the right fries.
You can't just take any fry or any milkshake because if you have the wrong ones, it'll just taste bitter and nasty. It's really weird. Also, I don't know if I would go chocolate. Chocolate shake and fries? I feel like
don't
you
know.
gotta do vanilla for like the sweetest kind.
I guess.
But
I don't know. I'm not a milkshake person. You know
That's
this.
true.
Stan frowns. Don't knock it till you try it. He scoffs, picking up a fry and dipping it into your shake instead of his own, and plops it into his mouth. His eyes widen as he chews, silent until he swallows.
That's actually not half bad.
We'll steal one of his fries.
Seizing the moment he's off guard, you reach over and snatch a fry from his plate.
Hey,
Payback! Stan picks up your shake and takes a big ol' swig. Hey! He sets it back down, licking his lips triumphantly. He's missed a spot though, and there's a bit of chocolate left on the side of his smirking mouth.
Oh, we can get another kiss out of him. Wipe it up for him, huh?
Yeah. Hey Stan, you've got some... You lift your hand to his face and wipe the chocolate away with your thumb. Stan's breath hitches at your touch. When you absent-mindedly lick the chocolate away, he's nearly beet red. And just like that, Stan leans forward, meeting your lips with his. The kiss is sweet in more ways than one. The taste of salt and the sugar, a combination both familiar and excitingly new. That's... wow. Yeah, you could sure get used to that. The two of you part, eyes wide. A delighted laugh escapes you, and Stan joins in.
hey, you want to get out of here?
Oh.
Oh, lead the way. Soon you're back in the old Diablo, engine purring to life as Stan screeches out of the little parking lot and onto the main street. With the way he drives, you honestly don't know how he keeps his car in such good shape, even with his mechanic skills. But eventually your speed becomes reasonable as Stan transitions from the asphalt road to the dirt, and you're left to realize your quickened pulse isn't due to his driving, but from anticipation. You're taking me for some late night errands again?
Nah, thought we could just see where the road takes us.
You know, for a small town, it sure is
I
huge.
always wondered about that. In the Gravity Falls, the area is massive.
Yeah,
And there's a
right?
total of like 30 people there.
It's yeah, right? We've seen the community.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah, it's...
It is a huge town.
Mm-hmm.
He's not wrong.
Yep.
Tell me about it. This forest is more of a trap than the shack.
Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. Worked on me just fine.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Can't take all the credit on that one.
Sure, Ford's babe magnet helped. Stan barks out a laugh at that. But I was drawn to this place on my own, too.
I mean, it's grown on me. Like a fungus, sure, but it has.
That's a very Stan line.
But I'm not the kind of guy who likes trails or draws gnomes. That's my brother. I'd rather be in the city than the woods. Way fewer bugs, more people to pickpocket. Not everyone knows my face.
So then how does someone like you end up in a place like this? You said you were from Jersey, right? I know how everyone else has gotten here, but not you. Stan sighs as if the weight of his whole life story lies with that question. Luckily, he humors you.
Long, and I mean long story short. My brother and I had a falling out when we were kids. High school. I got kicked out, barely talked to him or my parents for 10 years. He moved here. I spent those years bouncing from state to state. Oregon was one of the few I hadn't been banned from.
We say wow instead of sorry.
Yeah.
You're telling me? Then the one day he dropped me a line, he asked me to come here. I came thinking he wanted to make up, or at least talk things out, but he was in a bad place. Basically, he told me to get lost.
What? That's awful.
Yeah, well, we both made our mistakes that day. We fought, said some things, threw some punches, and I suppose you know how weird this town is. Telling you I accidentally pushed my twin brother through a cosmic portal in the basement, leaving him to fend for himself and hop through dimensions for the next 30 years isn't as crazy as it normally would be.
Your mouth is just agape. Seriously, you think your jaw might be on the floor.
Close your mouth, kid. You'll catch flies like that.
Ask about him.
Yeah. What about you?
Hmm?
You said Ford went through the portal for 30 years, but what did you do during that time? Is that what made you start the shack?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I came here because Sixer asked me. Once he was gone, I didn't have anywhere to go, and I wasn't going to leave until I got him back.
Did he really spend 30 years of his life trying to get his brother back?
Mm-hmm.
So I started the Mystery Shack. Locals thought it was my brother and liked the mysterious scientist in the woods shtick, so I had to roll with it.
Wait, so you had to pretend to be Ford too the whole time?
Only a name, sweetheart. It's a good thing I always went by Stan anyway. Let me tell you, Stanford Pines was never cooler than when he was me.
Caught off guard in your absolute shock, you erupt into laughter. Okay, that I can absolutely believe. By now it feels like you've been driving for a good while. You're starting to wonder if Stan really does have no idea where he's going, but the thought stops in its tracks as the car makes a sharp turn on a diverging path. You catch the slightest glimpse of a wooden sign reading, "Do not enter." Stan? Where are we going?
Relax, Jackpot. I know what I'm doing.
Sounds like a nickname.
To be fair, their names are Stanford. Both of them, right?
No, Stanley and Stanford.
Oh, okay.
But everybody thought that's why everybody in the first season calls him Stanford, because they think he's Ford.
Right.
And Stan faked his death.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's why like Gideon calls him Stanford all the time and stuff, because they think that he's Ford.
Okay.
But he's actually Stanley.
Well, okay.
This is a real hot spot up ahead on the cliff's edge. Lets you see the whole town and the horizon and everything. Real picturesque.
Oh, we've seen the cliff's edge before.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that like right towards the end of the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. The car suddenly jerks left, and there's a troubling bump as you go over a large redwood root.
Oh no.
That is, if we don't die before we get there.
Sorry, kid. That was in my blind spot.
We don't want the Diablo to...
It's pitch black outside, Stan. Everything's a blind spot.
All right. Hold on. One more jump and we'll be in the
Oh
cave.
God.
Oh, let me hold on.
Doesn't say. You grasp the back of your seat with one hand and the car's door handle with the other, unsure of how big a bump he has in mind. It's worse than you expected, Stan accelerating enough that you swear the wheels would have left the ground, until landing hard enough that Stan finds it necessary to brace you with his own arm, keeping you from slamming your head into the dashboard.
Ow.
Stan!
Yep.
The Stanmobile pulls up to its destination at the cliff's edge. Just as Stan said, you have a perfect view of the whole town, the surrounding canyon, and the remarkably saucer-esque shape caught into the natural bridge.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, the natural bridge. You catch Stan's pleased grin from the corner of your eye as you gasp, taking it all in. Though the sun has long since set, the small glowing streetlights from this small town illuminate the surrounding trees, providing only a slight hint of the mountain's shadows. It's not until seeing it from up here that it sinks in just how secluded from the world Gravity Falls is. It's almost like a hidden treasure among the evergreens. And though the black, thick forestry behind where you're parked might seem daunting alone at night, here with Stan, it just feels promising.
So I'm guessing you like it, right?
It's beautiful. As you survey the scene, you realize this cliff seems rather untouched, save for a flimsy barrier made of wire and stakes just before its end. How did you find this place?
Well, there's this other spot just like this one that I'm told the kids called Lookout Point. It's just across from us, actually.
Stan points to the spot opposite the car, straight ahead. Huh.
The place is infested with teenagers, though. Saw it myself when I drove up there to help Dipper with a girl situation.
Teenagers. Gross.
Exactly.
It hits you more fully now that you're here. Now that you're here with Stan, alone together, away from the world as you know it. You're thrilled, anxious, and suddenly don't know what to do with your hands. A nervous giggle escapes you, and Stan offers a kind and reassuring smile in return as he slings his arm around the back of his seat, crossing his leg over the other. The casual air is contagious, and you're thankful for it. Remember, he's got bench seats, too.
That's true.
So, how'd you kill time in a place like this for 30 years? Besides all the... Oh.
Bless you.
Besides all the shack and secret portal stuff. Stan laughs, scratching his cheek.
Well, as you know, I'm full of surprises. I'd skip town every now and then for actual supplies or a promising hookup.
Oh dear.
But as the shack became a household name, I had to stay put for longer and longer. So I'd make do trying to enjoy the small town thing.
You settle in. You're not budging until he elaborates. Like what though? The fun stuff? Like disco nights? Stan scans the horizon looking for something.
Okay, there, see the bowling place? Used to have a team there. We were really good, thanks to yours truly. Until this wet blanket, Toby came on board and had to use bumpers like a baby.
Toby determined. Again, you didn't mean to laugh. Yikes.
You got that right. Aside from that, there's a great taco joint and bar. The kids like to go to the arcade, and the mini golf place is pretty decent.
He starts counting on his fingers.
There's a mall, a creepy animatronic pizza place, a public pool, which I would not recommend, by the way, unless you're into sitting in strangers' filth.
That all sounds pretty dang fun, minus the filth part.
Yeah.
Sounds like there's actually a lot to do around here.
It's weird, ain't it? It's like you'll never hear about a place, but if the situation calls for it, pow, it's right here in town.
You really like hearing Stan talk, about anything really. The way he emotes with his hands, the grit in his voice, and the gradual increase of enthusiasm when he gets passionate, even about something small. And of course, he never fails to make you laugh. You could listen to him all night long. So you prepare to do just that, adjusting your legs into a more relaxed position. Nothing wrong with taking advantage of the legroom and these wide bench seats. What about...
I don't know. What do we ask about?
Does it not say?
No.
Oh, how about the graveyard?
Nothing special there. Not even that spooky. Sure, the grave of America's lost president is there and something about a national treasure, but I went there for myself for artifact inspiration, and there wasn't even a decent headstone to steal.
Alright, the factory on the cliff nearby?
You know, I'm surprised that place is still even there. There used to be this attraction in the middle of town. This brat, giddy and gleeful.
Hold on, Gleeful? Like Bud Gleeful, the car dealership guy Gleeful?
Yep, Gideon and his bud, snot-nosed kid. They used to run the scam that made money off of poor suckers' hopes and dreams by posing Gideon as a psychic.
Oh no.
It's just as tasteless as you're probably imagining. He'd even dance around and sing like a monkey in a tux. So what? I had a real monkey at the shop back then. Wore a hat and everything. Anyway, these idiots obviously ate it all up. It became my biggest competition and an even bigger pain in my ass. That old factory's where they used to make his merchandise.
What happened to Gideon?
The kid had some realizations, I guess, like a lot of people in this town. Supposedly he's trying to get that silver spoon out of his mouth and be a normal tween like the rest of them. But who knows? Haven't heard about him this visit, so I can't tell you for sure.
That must be a good sign. What about the weirdly shaped building?
That's the club.
You shoot him a look. Stan makes it through his next words laughing.
That's the name. Honest.
You snort. Clever.
The name might be questionable, but the place is nice enough to only let you in if you're rich. Only ever managed to sneak in there once. Bad vibes there. Not even for someone like me. Worst of all, the food was mediocre. Not the kind of quality I didn't pay for.
There's a lull in the conversation, a moment where the both of you are simply admiring the view. It seems you've inched your way closer to Stan as he was speaking because all of a sudden, you realize your leg isn't all that far from his.
What?
The reflection of the outside light on Stan's glasses keeps you from being able to read his expression from this position.
I'm gonna get closer, right?
Get closer. Is that what it says?
Yep.
You very nearly closed the gap between you both, and it would have been smooth too, if not for the creak of the patent leather seats as you shifted. Stan's grin tells you he noticed. Damn, time for a diversion. What's that on the water tower over there?
Ah, that old chestnut. What's it look like to you? Oh.
Oh, God. 'Cause
What?
we know what it's supposed to be.
What was it?
It's supposed to be an explosion, but it looks like a muffin.
Oh, that's right. Muffin.
Looks like a muffin. Not sure why anyone would choose that as a symbol for vandalism. Maybe it scares the hell out of anyone with a wheat allergy?
Maybe it's a bran muffin.
He wiggles his fingers like he's telling a spooky story.
With extra raisins. You know, I almost died up there once. It's a real doozy of a story.
You take the bait. Oh, do tell. And so he does, with his usual flourish, painting a picture of the time he and his great niece bravely scaled the tower and nearly got shaken from it by a video game character come to life.
Oh, right.
Yeah. You find yourself with another chance to move closer.
Get even closer.
Stan's speech falters a bit as you inch closer, and the side of your hand brushes his, but he continues when you leave it there.
So I say to Mabel, just haven't looked up death straight in its dim, ugly face.
Finally, your thigh meets his, and suddenly he seems to have a pretty persistent itch on the back of his head because he can't stop rubbing it.
Thigh touching.
Thigh touching.
And so, that punk, Robbie, learned his lesson eventually, but you know how his type are.
I think I have an idea, yeah. Your eyes meet Stan's, and you hope to God he can't tell how your heart is hammering in your chest. Screw it. Here goes nothing. You steel your nerves, moving and gently resting your head on Stan's shoulder, leaning into his side. You hold your breath as you focus on the water tower in front of you, worried what look he could be giving you. Stan clears his throat, pulling his arm away from you, and for a moment, the feeling that you just crossed a line makes you mentally curse yourself. Until he lets out an embarrassingly fake yawn, and his arm above his head and out, resting it across your shoulders. You're so excited by his touch and your success that it takes you a moment to realize the yawn and stretch. He just used that old cliche. And moreover, it worked. Does it say?
Nope.
Oh no. You can't help but laugh.
What?
Stan reddens, smiling sheepishly down at you. I can't believe you just did the yawn and stretch.
Well, it worked, didn't it?
It's still a trick. Is it still a trick if it's recognized as one right off the bat? Stan's silent for a moment before making a face.
Yeesh, there goes my 7 days without an existential crisis streak.
Now that you're against his side, you really don't know what to do with your damn hands. Are they feeling a little extra sweaty?
Don't put them on him.
Curse these leather seats.
That's not how that... Okay.
You hold him.
Hold him. Just do it. It's fine. It's like a hug. No big deal. You were basically holding each other while dancing tonight, right? Your arm ever so slightly comes to rest on his torso in a sort of loose embrace. You sigh in relief as Stan makes a sound of contentment and shifts his arms to account for your new place. For a moment, you dare not to say a thing and instead close your eyes. There's that scent again, the overtone of cheap cologne mingled with leather, cigar smoke, and salt. From this proximity in this car, it's just the right kind of overwhelming. You really can't believe this. Never in your wildest imagination could you imagine this is how your solo summer road trip would work out. But in this moment, you really can't imagine it any other way. You're just happy. Oh, there we go. That's a photo.
Mm-hmm.
That chin. Hey, Stan?
Yeah?
Thanks for your help. His eyes meet your own as he smiles down at you.
No problem, kid. That's what kind souls like me do.
You really are a lifesaver. My car would have been a goner. And you rescued me from being bled dry by a mechanic, too. You can feel the rumble in Stan's chest as he hums.
Crooks, all of them. Not even charismatic about it.
That's certainly a plus, too. Your hand moves upward to his broad chest, just below the open V of his shirt. I'm not only thankful for a place to freeload, though, Stan. I've actually had a really incredible time here. Seriously, I'm the luckiest person to ever be ripped out of the forest with their car, since it was by such a nice family.
Better than a simple trip to Mystery Shack, huh?
Definitely.
Oh, Mabel told us.
Yep. Mabel's words come back to you, and despite your doubts begging you not to say anything stupid, your heart is yelling you to tell him already, damn it. You know what? Yeah, if everything goes south, you're already about to pack your bags and leave. You'd never even have to think the name Gravity Falls again. Alright, yep, here it goes. Stan, I really like you. You focus on the gold chain just by your fingertips and toy with it, avoiding eye contact to keep your nerves while you've got them. You hear him swallow thickly despite your heart thrumming in your ears. I've really enjoyed getting to know you these past couple weeks. Even when you got me shot at, I can't tell you how much of a relief it's been not only to escape death by complete boredom, but also to find myself having some of the most fun I've ever had, period. You need an extra gulp of air for this next part. Thank you for tonight. I'm glad you brought me here. And I'm gonna miss you. I glance up and there Stan is, looking at you with a mix of emotions you can't quite place. You think you feel his pulse skip a beat under your palm, and you're sure your own does the same as he looks away. His pronounced jawline is further exaggerated in the shadows, and you see it clench before he faces you again. You don't know who leans in first, or more, or anything, but suddenly Stan's hand is cupping your face and his lips are on yours. It's sweet, but somewhat clumsy, as his glasses remind you of their existence by hitting you in the cheek as he leans in close. You can't help but hum against his lips. And oh God, you forgot to breathe. You part, both of you breathing just a bit heavier than before. Stan's big dumb grin is accompanied by pink dusted cheeks.
Are you okay?
Apparently this is it.
Huh, okay.
The last one.
Stan laughs, cupping your face and bringing his lips to yours once again. He's more confident now, more sure with his hands. The kiss lasts longer and shows no sign of stopping anytime soon, but from this angle it's still a bit awkward, side by side like this. Stan makes a noise of surprise against your mouth as you grab him by the collar and drag him down with you to this...
Oh, I'm sorry. There we go.
To the seat, but then he laughs and you can feel his smile on yours. The kiss dippens. Dippens.
I'm here.
Oh no! Fable and Dipper tagged along in the trunk. They were hiding in the backseat the whole time.
That would be a very thing.
They would do that. The kiss deepens before Stan breaks it to instead kiss along your neck, your collarbone, his stubble feeling absolutely wonderful on your skin. Your fingertips have ruffled his hair beyond repair at this point, and you have to admit you prefer it this way. You get caught up in this moment, and his embrace, his kisses, each more intoxicating than the last, and his hand caressing your sides and waist in a way that makes Stan's name leave your lips.
Honk.
You both jolt, your heart flipping and Stan's head shooting up with the noise so fast that it hits the roof of the car with an embarrassing clunk. He swears furiously and rubs his head as he looks for the source of the disruption.
What the?
Oh no.
Mr. Pines. Who would call him
Who's-
Mr. Pines? It's not Mabel or Dipper.
Seuss? It wouldn't be
maybe?
Seuss. No. You bolt up at the voice, distant and slightly echoing. Stan practically growls, pinching the bridge of his nose and hiding his face in shame.
Sweet Moses.
Oh no.
Accidentally
It's Mabel, Dipper, and Seuss are all
no.
spying. Oh no.
Oh,
Oh god. Stan flips on his headlights to illuminate another car with 2 people inside it, directly across from you at lookout point. It must have pulled up while you 2 were not looking. Stan kicks open his door so hard and fast you're amazed it's still on its hinges as he steps out.
I'm gonna kill you, Robbie.
Oh no, it's Robbie.
Who, Robbie and Wendy?
No, Robbie and Tambry, I guess? Because that's who he was with by the end. Robbie? Are you serious? Sure enough, the figure in the driver's seat, scared out of his absolute wits, fits the description of an angsty-looking emo teen. There's a girl in the seat next to him with purple hair who seems to be trying to hide behind her phone as she slaps the boy's shoulder.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's Tambry.
We were just leaving. We didn't see your car when...
I don't remember your last name right now, Robbie, but you're gonna hope I never find out. You're dead, you hear me, kid? Dead.
The other car screeches the rest of the way out of sight. At that, a couple more accidental honks and a final "I'm so sorry" being thrown your way as it goes.
So sorry.
And that was absolutely mortifying. And although that's definitely the most embarrassed you've ever been, you kind of feel bad for the guy. Imagine being on the other end of this situation. Stan flops back into his seat, swearing under his breath for a moment before sighing. He rubs his face with his hands before looking to you.
Well, that happened.
He seems nice. Stan grumbles, shutting his car door and starting up the engine.
Can't even drive to a cliff and get any privacy in this town. Guess we should start heading back.
He offers you an apologetic smile. We should, but can we take the scenic route?
Yeah, absolutely.
Luckily, the scenic route is also the long way home. You were mostly joking about a scenic route back to the shack during this time of night, but both Gravity Falls and Stan have a way of amazing you to no end. Little bioluminescent mushrooms are sprinkled along the path on the trees in perfect rings. Stan drives slowly, and you take advantage of it to marvel at their greenish glow. This is incredible.
There's a lot more where these came from, or so I've heard. There's a gnome forest somewhere around here. Never been because, well, gnomes. But maybe Ford can let us know if there's somewhere like it without the pests.
You rest your head on the windowsill, watching the toadstools of all shapes and sizes go by, counting them. I'd really like that. With each passing minute, the rumble of the road and the thrum of the car seem to add another weight to your eyelids, and suddenly your fatigue catches up with you.
You alright?
You hum an affirmative, and Stan takes you at your word. Well, this could be better. Sliding up next to him, you bring Stan's free arm that's not on the wheel around yourself, like it was earlier this evening, and he chuckles.
That's right. Get yourself comfortable.
You let your eyes fall closed, content. Wake me up if there's a nymph or something.
Will do, jackpot.
Almost perfect.
We did so well.
We did do very well. Love meter.
It's your last day in Gravity Falls.
Should I guess I should do it, right?
Oh.
There's going to be a bunch of other characters you're probably going to have to do.
Okay, sure.
It's your last day in Gravity Falls. Weeks ago, you were worried today it would never come, but now that it's here, you don't know how to feel. Just yesterday, when Stan told you your car was good to go, you wanted to believe that there was something still left for him to fix. And yesterday evening, after your final dinner with the whole Pines family and the Seuss's back-breaking goodbye hug, you had almost resigned yourself to letting go. But now, in the clarity of the daylight, you realize that these weird and wonderful people don't have to disappear from your life for good. You'll always have the memories, and you'll still be able to keep in touch through letters, packages, and video calls. They won't be able to get rid of you, even. Too late, suckers. Cherished friends for life. When you make your way out of the shack, you're met by the Pines and Waddles, all gathered beside a large tarp covering what you guess is your car. They're talking amongst themselves until they spot you.
There they are. Thought you were gonna miss a big reveal.
Now you guys! Ford and Stan each take an end of the tarp, pulling it off with a flourish as Mabel and Dipper throw handfuls of confetti in the air.
Ta-da!
The reveal is indeed your car. Besides a couple of nicks here and there, it's hard to believe it's the same one you crashed just weeks ago. Heck, it probably runs better than it did when you first got it.
It looks amazing.
You take it all in, running your hands along the hood and marveling at the spotless windows.
Ford, can I call you the next time I need a tune-up? If this is what happens when you use that magnet gun, I might ask you to total my car more often. Ha! Yes, well, perhaps we can find a middle ground.
Hey, no love for me, huh? Don't forget who got you out of this mess in the first place.
I could never. Trust me. I'll think of you every time I use my windshield wipers without jamming the button.
You laugh, giving Stan a big hug in gratitude.
Thank you, Stan.
You turn to the whole family, taking the moment in.
Thanks to all of you for everything. It's been unforgettable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Familiar car keys back in hand, you unlock your car and load your belongings into the trunk. Mabel comes up and hands you a package wrapped entirely in ribbons and bows, winking.
Just something to remember us by.
Stan calls from where he stands with Ford, to the left of your car.
I don't know what that is, but it's from me too.
Oh, and me.
Jesus. Dipper simply shoots you a thumbs up, and when you look at the label on Mabel's gift, you see his name is already on it besides hers. Open it.
Yeah.
You're about to pull at the ribbons, but Mabel chides you.
Nope, you gotta open it on the road after you leave.
Or, well, after you stop at a rest stop because you're driving, please don't get into another accident. You tuck the gift into the trunk on top of everything else, making sure it'll be safe from being crushed. After Mabel, Waddles comes up to you as well and snorts up at you. You give a little guy a loving pat. You're going to miss that pig. You're really going to miss Gravity Falls, too.
I don't know what to say, except, I guess...
You're about to say goodbye when Stan interrupts you.
Hold on, I got one more thing to say before you go. And, kids, you head on first. You too, Sixer. Give us some time alone. I gotta show them some kinks with the engine.
Yeah, kinks.
Mabel oohs as she leaves,
Ooh.
accompanying Dipper and Ford back into the shack. You think that was altogether too easy, and Stan must think so too, because he turns back to the shack's visible window just as Mabel peeks out from the side of the window pane.
God.
Alone, Mabel.
Mabel disappears from the window, and Stan turns back to you.
Well, it's been some couple of weeks, huh? Gotta say, I'm usually on the other side of this conversation. If there's a conversation at all, that is. Look, I've never been any good at this stuff, so I'll just cut right to the chase. If this was just a summer thing, I get it, I really do. But if it were more...
Ooh.
More.
Is it more?
Yeah.
Stan laughs with relief.
Really? I mean, of course, really. I'm a fantastic catch. You looked out with this one, kid.
Honestly, Stan, you're not wrong. You don't come off as the long-distance type. I was afraid to ask, so I wasn't sure I had the guts.
Definitely not a long distance.
Yeah, right?
Dude.
No. But I'm glad you did.
Yeah, well, there's still a few things I could get a better hang of.
You give him a warm look of your own, letting your fondness show, and Stan flushes under your gaze.
Well, I guess I should give you my number. Wait, you already have that.
Middle.
Stan's grin is contagious. You barely lean in before he meets you with a purposeful kiss, one that holds promise. It's enough to bring you back to memories of that night in the car on the cliff. Oh yeah, you'll definitely be staying in touch. Just as you're about to deepen the kiss, a hyper squeal rips your attention from each other to the sound's origin, to find that it's none other than Mabel pressing up against the shack's window.
I knew you could do it, Grunkle Stan. I knew it. Love at last.
A small hand comes into view and grabs her away from the window before a six-fingered one waves and draws the curtain shut. Stan looks a bit peeved at being interrupted, but relaxes as you laugh.
You got some really good kids there, Stan.
Trust me, I know. Mabel talked me through some of the rough spots, believe it or not.
Oh, I do.
Maybe next time me and Ford duck, we can pick up where we left off.
Another more chaste peck on the lips serves as your answer.
I'll hold you to it, sailor.
Don't forget me now, alright? I swear I'll spam you with text messages if you do. Dipper, show me how.
God.
Laughing, you say your final goodbye with one last look at him.
I couldn't forget you if I tried. See you later, Stan.
Stan watches as you get in your car and start up the engine. You turn to the road with ease, and in the rearview mirror see Stan waving goodbye, as well as Dipper, Mabel, Ford from the shack. You smile at the sight and say a last goodbye into the quiet of your car, watching until you have to focus on the road once more. A while longer and you're through town, back on the open road. A sign passes on the right, now leaving Gravity Falls. It's not until you're at the next rest stop that you think to open Mabel's gift, or, well, the Pines family gift. You unwrap it to find Mystery Shack souvenirs, a small knitted square Mabel has helpfully labeled as a mug sweater, and a photo. That's pretty great.
That's so good.
That's pretty great.
Oh my god.
It's a good photo.
That's a great photo.
The end.
Damn.
We did it.
They did a good job on
That's a
that.
really good
That's
job.
a really, really
No,
good.
thank you for making it.
Oh, that's a really good dating sim, actually. Like, legit, that's a really good one. The
We only missed one because we
Yeah.
didn't. We were in the place alone.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
you know, maybe we'll.
We should do a part 2 at
We
some
should do a
point
part
because
2
we
and
need
do
to
the
go
other
through
side.
Ford.
Yeah.
Because this was so well done. It really was.
I don't suppose there's anything like near the diner, right? So we can get that other photo.
It was before that. It was right before that. That's Boom Pow Right in the Kisser was that chapter, but it was before that image.
Right. Unfortunately, the last thing we had is Crime Spree, so we would have to go through the entire reel him in.
Okay.
Thing. Okay. Well,
We'll do that
another time.
But that was
good. All right.
I think we need now a break to read.
We're gonna take a break because we got to plan what we want to do next. And
Careful your eyes.
Yep. We're getting into the early morning hours, so we got to figure out what we want to do.
Yeah. Plus, if I need to move into my office to play something, we need to get that arranged.
Okay. So give us a little bit. We will be back in just a little while.